This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts.
Cover! We got a new world champion!
That was one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts and 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's the real deal, baby!
Knockouts and 3 Counts starts now.
What up, though? It's only Tuesday, and I already feel like I've been through a twister, and my tooth's cracked, and I got a million different places to be, and I'm jet lagged, and lost my sunglasses on a train, but I made it to the end of Tuesday. This is Knockouts and 3 Counts, and holy God, do we got a lot of stuff that's going on, but we can't even get to what's going on this week until we talk about what happened over the weekend. You know, I went to Chicago and walked through this door that was forbidden. And then before that, I got to sit behind a table and run my mouth behind somebody else's microphone, and it was on pay-per-view. And then our buddy Austin Bashi kicked some guy's ass and is still undefeated. And all of the guys that I was watching all won their fights. Our guys all won their fights. It was good times. Shout out to Matt Friendo. Great show from Lights Out. You know, as if you guys pay attention to our social media at KO3C Pod, which hopefully you already are, you would know that Lights Out is making their way downriver, and hopefully you're going to see your boy back on commentary. So if you didn't get to see the fights, make sure you check them out. Spectation Sports. Go watch somebody get their ass whipped. In the meantime, how are y'all doing on a Tuesday?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I had an eventful day of wrapping up projects. You guys ever have one of those days where you finally try to tackle all those things that are on that checklist of shit that's just been built up of, like, you know, this is piled on, this needs to be. That's how my day was. Most of it was at work, taking care of dumb warranty work and stuff like that. But able to wrap up at least like 90% of the projects that we had on hand. So glad for it. Other than that, just honestly ready to carry on for this week. Ready for the 4th of July. That's what I'm ready for.
What the hell's the plan for the 4th of July, dude? What the fuck?
Joseph's house. He's having the 4th of July party.
Wait a minute. 4th of July is coming up this weekend too? Jeez, man.
That's Monday, dude.
They were already
asking me if I was going to work on Monday. I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, hell no, we won't go.
When are we supposed to sleep? That's the question, Kyle. Did you sleep over the weekend? You had a lot going on.
So I might have slept maybe a few hours in between Lights Out and getting on a train to go to Chicago. I can't confirm or deny that. What up, though, Sophia? I appreciate you. See, Sophia follows us on Twitter. She follows us all the way from Canada. I want to hear what you had to say about AEW Forbidden Door, because you had a lot to say on Twitter with us, even though New Japan. So can we talk about the fact that New Japan like hit me for copyright on Twitter for posting clips from a show that I was at?
That's really your money to go to.
I paid my money to go there, not to mention I paid money when you guys sold out Madison Square Garden, damn it. What the fuck? I was there for both of them.
Wow.
I was there for both of them. And I get it for copyright.
AEW.
Ring the motherfucking bell, right? But that is how are they going to do you dirty? You can clearly see from different camera angles, right, when somebody's actually at the event compared to when it's like somebody posting the broadcast and stuff. I can understand wanting to flag the direct broadcast because, you know, whatever reason you're still trying to actively sell the pay-per-view and stuff. But I feel like a hyped up fan posting the fact that they were in attendance at the event, you know, like, hey, this is worth my time, my travels out to the city and everything else that happens just to attend one of these shows. I feel like,
well, you see what Sophia's saying. That's what I've heard. I've heard it's New Japan because one of the clips that got hit had Okada in it, go figure, and the other one was with Will Osprey, which, you know, can we just talk about how I said it? Ring the bell. If you guys pay attention on Thursday, I said one of the matches that I think could steal the whole damn show could be Will Osprey and Orange Cassidy. And hot damn it, was I right or was I right? I think I was right.
I think you were right.
I'm just saying.
You were right.
And I also got to say, holy shit, Will Osprey really did get a lot bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, when you see him next to Orange Cassidy, dog, like, dude.
You're not the only person I've seen say that or heard say that.
I'm dead ass serious. Go look at our social media. Go look at KO3C Pod and look at the pictures I posted and look at that, and then look at a picture of him from 2 years ago and tell me that he don't look like 30 pounds bigger.
Hey, good for
and
him,
he's
man.
still doing all the flips and all the crazy shit. We appreciate the likes. Keep them coming. Make sure you share that shit. Share it on your social medias. Let your friend know. Let me know what you thought about AEW Forbidden Door. Shout out to my guy, Brasshole, Ken Brass. If you're in the Detroit area, check out Sondoff Sundays. He was with me as well. We took that long-ass train ride that took way longer than it was supposed to and apparently has claimed my sunglasses, which I'm pretty fucking pissed about. But let's talk about what we had to talk about. Hey, yo, shout out to Cody. Make sure if you get your lawn cut, make sure you check out Cody and Caudill's Lawn Service. Sophia, they had a great match. See, I'm not the only one saying this here. I'm just trying to tell you, like I told you so. I told you so.
Well, I know. Besides your prediction, right? Because I mean, clearly the little bit of bias is going to be there because that's what you wanted to be the match of the night.
I don't know if it was the match of the night necessarily, but man, it was a damn good match.
That's what I was going to pose you next. Is
it's kind of hard to go against that fatal four-way. It's kind of hard to go against that fatal four-way match for the lot.
There was a lot, man.
That fatal four-way match, and you know what? You know, not that I thought it was going to be bad, because I said going into this that this card was going to be a banger from start to finish. But I got to say, one of the matches that really surprised me at how badass it was the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Unamo, Eddie Kingston, and Wheeler Yuta. Because Unamo was a late replacement. And I didn't know, and Jericho, it was Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and
Sammy Guevara.
And yeah, dude, they fucking went all out. That was badass. I mean,
a little cool spot in that match when Suzuki got in and Kingston was in there and he exposed his chest to like get the slack because he knew it was coming. Like you ain't getting in there with Suzuki without getting your chest turned into hamburger meat, dude. So Kingston's like, fuck it,
dude. Kingston tried to hit him with the chops too, man. Like, yeah. I mean, Suzuki's a bad son of a bitch. I'm just saying, I don't know how Jericho managed to get the Jericho Appreciation Society linked up with Suzuki Goon, but I mean, it's not a bad pick. For those of you guys who were watching, if you watched AEW Forbidden Door, I want to know what were your guys' favorite match. What was your guys' favorite match of the night? But before we go match by match, you know, can we talk about what happened before I ever even got in the fucking building? Like, first of all, like, and this has happened twice. Something like this has happened twice now.
Go smoothly. It can't go smoothly.
And both of them were at AEW shows, so I'm starting to wonder if, like,
there's a theme.
The first time, yeah, right. I went to Chicago for All Out a few years ago, and I'll never forget it. I got in there and my ticket was voided, and again, I got moved behind production. So it worked out great. This time, I get in the door. They Mox. Okay, Sophia. Mox versus Tanahashi was fantastic. I agree, except them two dumbasses that got in the fight kind of screwed it up for me. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But so I get in the door. I go through the metal detector. They take all my shit. I got to unload the million business cards that I got in my pocket, and then so then I go into after walking around the building 3 times trying to find the box office window that's supposed to be open on the outside of it, I realized that you got to go to the one on the inside. So I go in there and I go show the guy my ticket, show him my order number, everything, only to find out I was sold a bullshit ticket, or the guy had sold the same tickets multiple times. And so I'm on the phone with StubHub trying to get this whole damn thing taken care of. And I just happened to go up to the guy and go, hey, bro, like, you guys got any tickets that were comparable to the ones I got? And I got tickets 2 rows off the floor for $35.
There you go. Yeah. That's a win.
That's a win. And then they had to get. Then that StubHub still owes me my $190 that I paid for the other tickets back. So
$190. So you're talking $160 difference. And were the seats better before for the 190, or was it pretty much?
Oh no, I was closer with these, and on top of that, I moved to the seats right behind production, so I was sitting straight on.
Yeah, you definitely won out on that. Well, as long as you get your
I feel like I deserve that deal, Sophia. All right, they fucked up, and I got a bullshit ticket. I feel like I deserve that deal. I'm just gonna chalk that one up to karma.
Well, it seems like from the Twitter world and everything that for your $35, you got your money's worth, even with all the rumblings and talk.
Hey, you got to watch a wrestling. You got to see a whole wrestling show, and you got to see a real life fight.
Oh yeah, I already got. I got StubHub. StubHub is definitely supposed to give me that money within 5 days, or I can tell you what's gonna happen. Everybody's got a price, and guess who will be calling the motherfucking bank?
Hey, you got to see a whole nother time. You got to see a whole nother fight. What, 2 rows away?
Oh my God! Okay, I feel like that's like totally like skipping way over the card, because that was like literally the last match. But I mean, do you guys want to start at Mox versus Tanahashi? Since
just tell us about the scrap that you got to see a couple feet
so
away.
I'm not gonna lie, as you would imagine, it was pretty fucking stupid. Just saying. From what I could surmise of what I saw, number one, these two dudes were together. Number two, Mox versus Tanahashi was the last match of the night. Yeah, the two fans that got kicked out, dumbasses fought right in front of me. That's what I'm getting to. So yeah, this guy was like, his buddy was pretty pissed drunk. And so all I see is dude like standing up over him like one of these, talking about, I'm this close, bro. I'm this close. And I assumed homie is already like pissed drunk. So security is already trying to drag this dude back at this point, and his buddy is just acting a fool. So eventually he grabs a hold of him. I don't know if he swung at him or whatever. So security starts to drag him up the stairs. And then as they start to do that, dude turns around and swung at security. Well, that was a bad time. Then they put his arms behind his back, and then he's going up there. Then they're dragging his buddy up there. And I'm like, we were in the main event. Why the fuck did you have to do that in the last match? Like, you couldn't have waited like the 5 minutes and just kicked his ass outside so that you didn't, like, now you're going to get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, it sounds like you got your money's worth. You got to see a lot of cool shit. So.
2 for 1. You got
ring the bell. We're going to be doing a lot of bell ringing. Cody, when are you going to start ringing bells, bro? We got Blood and Guts that's going to be here tomorrow. GCW is going to be here Thursday. The damn Deathmatch Circus is this weekend. You know, Sophia, you only live right across the damn border, so you could easily make your way across the damn border. I'm just saying, Blood and Guts is going to be a damn good time. There's already going to be a lot of our fellow listeners are going to be sitting right around us, and sign you up, get you a damn ticket, and bring your ass down to Little Caesars tomorrow, damn it.
Let's go, man.
Sign you up, get you a damn ticket, and come down to Little Caesars. Devin will be there in live and living color with me as well.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
A personal appearance, huh?
Devin is making his way out there. J-Bone will be live and in living color. I might have to throw him in for a run-in. And yeah, we're gonna be there. Blood and Guts is gonna be nuts. And as we saw in Claudio's debut, was awesome too. So happy for me. No, I definitely agree. That crowd went fucking nuts when Claudio came out. Perfect. I said it. You know, I feel like I changed everybody on the show's mind because everybody was saying Gargano, and then I was like, bro, with that tie to Regal, I feel like Claudio would be perfect in that shit, and it played out perfect. And, you know, from what we saw there, too, hey, I showed plenty of enthusiasm. I even made a Carlos Newton reference on the Lights Out fights, Kathy. See, so if you haven't done so, make sure you go back and check it out on pay-per-view. Shout out to Matt Friendo. I definitely am hoping once they come down here to Detroit, I definitely am going to be hoping to get back behind that mic. And shout out to Drew Gardner. I appreciate you, brother man. But yeah, dude. Sorry, got to work early in the morning. AEW needs to come to Canada. Canada loves AEW. Hey, I'm not mad at you. I mean, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for not wanting to make the drive. But I mean, you could always come and hang out with Knockouts and 3 Counts. You're more than welcome. But all right. So we talked about the fight that happened with Mox and Tanahashi. What were your thoughts on the match as a whole, J-Bone?
Dude, banger, bro. I mean, what do we expect, right? We expected violence. We expected blood.
I was surprised well, I didn't see what cut Mox open first, and I didn't realize he got cut open that
yeah.
moment.
I didn't.
I'm like, damn, this dude is leaking.
Yeah,
this dude is leaking. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this guy is leaking, and I'm like, I didn't even see him get cut like that. And I'm like, okay, but you know. And yeah, I thought it was a good match. I feel like Tanahashi definitely showed why he's Tanahashi and why he's the ace.
Yeah,
and
good for him. You know, he got a shine on a major scale, major pay-per-view, dude. That match couldn't have went any better.
I couldn't agree with you more, dude. I really kind of hope that we can, you know, since we had this AEW Forbidden Door, I don't know if this continues to become like a yearly thing, but I really hope that we can continue to see the infusion of New Japan in here with AEW. I mean, all in all, it was a great show. The only bummer was obviously the people who had to drop out. Obviously, most notably, we're not going to see Bryan Danielson either at Forbidden Door or tomorrow night at Blood and Guts here in Detroit. But we got a hell of a substitute. So we talked about Mox and Tanahashi after the match. You know, Mox had his big speech, and you know, Claudio and everybody came out after we had the Waylay, big ass brawl broke out. Jericho Appreciation Society, Blackpool Combat Club, Blood and Guts is going to be bananas tomorrow. But dude, so they're beating the shit out of each other. After the ring clears out, you see Eddie Kingston just storm off because he still doesn't mess with Claudio Castagnoli. I think Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli is going to be a banger because for any of you who need to be caught up, I'll catch you up real quick. They've had beef since 2013. They were in a feud right before Claudio went to NXT, and they never got he left right in the middle of their feud. They never got to finish everything up. And it looks like they're going to start right where they left off in 2013. So, like I say, it's going to be interesting with them on the same team tomorrow night in Blood and Guts. If you know, their Blood and Guts might spill each other's blood and guts, but you know, we're going to have to see how that plays out in Blood and Guts. But since we're talking about, all right, the BCC is my favorite thing. Love that Claudio's Claudio's the perfect fit. I mean, with his relationship with with his relationship with Regal and his style and just raw and gritty like that, it's perfect. I just hope that Claudio gets to shine the way we all kind of feel like he should at AEW, the way he didn't get to as much in WWE, because I mean, that guy, and I'm saying this from seeing it with my own face, I've worked out in the same room as this man. I'm telling you, mark my words, he might be one of the strongest fucking human beings I've ever seen in my life. I've trained with UFC guys. I've trained with Bellator guys. I've trained with bare knuckle guys. I've trained with strongmen. My dad was a fucking power lifter. I'm telling you, this man came in the fucking gym with some damn boots on, didn't warm up, did nothing, and is just throwing weight around. And I'm just like, dude, like, and doing it for like time too. And I'm just like, fuck, this guy is just a machine. When they call him the Swiss Superman, like, I mean, dude, he swung, it wasn't, damn, I'm forgetting the guy's name. The guy from the Jericho Appreciation Society. He swung that even in his match with Zack Sabre, he swung Zack Sabre 20 fucking times around. Swung this sumbitch like a sack of potatoes. You get a swing and you get a swing, and it's going to go around.
Is there still a standing record for the swing?
I don't know if anybody who's watching
It's gotta
can
be
look
up in the
that up
20s.
and find that out. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I don't know what the record for the Cesaro swing is,
Kyle,
but
what
yes,
was it like though, man? Like because you were there
Claudio
live.
is
I'm watching
very,
on
very,
TV.
very strong.
I'm watching on TV. You were there in person, dude. What was the energy like when his music hit and you seen on the Titantron? That place.
Oh, dude, that crowd was going bananas, dude.
Yeah.
That crowd was going bananas. And then the match for him to face a guy like Zack Sabre Jr., I mean, it couldn't have been a more perfect pairing. I mean, you always hear people talk about Claudio when you're talking about him or in his former incarnation, Cesaro, about, how he's one of the best in ring and how he's so overlooked. And for him to get in there with a guy like Zack Sabre Jr., you couldn't have had a better opponent. Again, for all of you guys who are watching, if you watch Forbidden Door, let me know what your guys' favorite match was in the comments. I gotta say, if we're going down this card, I was very, very impressed by the Jericho Appreciation Society 6-man versus Suzuki or versus Eddie and them, because, dude, I mean, not that I thought it would be bad, but I mean, they started off hot. For that being first, dude, they started off hot, and then you had Swerve and Keith Lee versus Desperado and dude, I'm forgetting my man's name in the buy-in. And dude, I mean, literally every match on this fucking thing was a banger, dude. Like, literally.
Yeah. That's like one of those cards I was thinking, like, this is probably like the guys are sitting in the back, like, okay, I'm after who? How can I top that? We got to top that. And then the next match, we got to top that. It's like, dude, that whole card, top to bottom, it's got to be competitive in a sense for those guys. You know what I mean?
That's the kind of the point I was starting to get to earlier when I was referencing the $35 ticket and stuff, is like there was so much rumblings going into this pay-per-view about, with all the injuries and stuff like that, and the fact that, AEW is, newer into the pay-per-view realm and stuff like that, so that it seems like wrestling fans just don't trust their product as much, like beforehand, like coming into the events, if you get what I mean. And this one, it seemed to get a ton of those rumblings of just people like, man, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. So-and-so's not in it anymore.
There you hear
so,
Cody in the comments. Forbidden Door was amazing.
And then, yeah, I mean, not only did they find some great replacements, man, the way they ended up kind of stacking that card, it's from everything I see, not just what you guys are saying, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Kyle, being there. It seemed to live up to, if not original expectations, exceeded them, tenfold. So
yeah, man, I can't complain at all, dude. It was like I said, hot start, and then they went right to the triple threat for the IWGP and Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, which was a fucking banger, dude. Shout out to FTR. They're now your IWGP and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. As they retained their titles and then took the titles off of the United Empire, Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan. Dude, great match. It took the crowd a minute to kind of get into it, but dude, every time I see Jeff Cobb, I'm more and more impressed by him. Like, oh my God. Like, I could literally watch Jeff Cobb every day. I mean, obviously with the wrestling background and the suplexes and all that shit, like, obviously maybe I might be a little bit biased, but I mean, dude, he is fucking impressive.
Yeah.
The guy is a tank and is still doing standing backflips at 280 pounds and not having problems getting around. I'm not saying off the top ropes. I'm talking standing. He's here, homie is here, and does the backflip. No ropes, no bounce, no spring. Don't. And if you try to drop in the comments that it's because there's a pad on the ring, I will smack you. Like, I'm just saying, Jeff Cobb.
It's
dude,
spring
Jeff
loaded,
Cobb,
bro. He has airbags in his shoes. They deploy right as he goes to jump.
There's
bro.
a spring underneath there.
Don't you know, bro? It's fucking wrestling. It's got to be everything. Just because wrestling has predetermined outcomes, everything has to be fake, bro. Don't you know?
I mean, that seems to be the general consensus, even though, my man's is bleeding all over himself, but that's fake. But I'm just saying, my man is bleeding all over the place. And speaking of FTR, his partner almost bled out in the middle of his match, but that was fake. But I mean, literally got a cut in his arm and almost bled out because it hit his main artery, but that was fake. But
fake as hell, dog.
Yeah,
it must have been ketchup. Like, what did they mix? Ketchup and vinegar or something, and had a had a
Yeah,
pump.
exactly.
Had to be.
You know,
Had to be.
wrestling,
Or it was ketchup packets,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Ketchup
Just had a
packets.
bunch-
He
just had a
smuggled
bunch
them
of
in his
ketchup
chunks
packets
like
in his pipe.
Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit
Whatever,
kills
dude.
me.
Wrestling is real people are fake, right?
Me as the MMA side and covering wrestling from the show, I can get like some criticisms for wrestling and stuff, but when you talk about that end of it and try to be like, it's just fake, I don't like the things that you're actively seeing aren't fake. Like the outcome and stuff may be like determined, but the stunts and everything else that's involved and just the time that it takes to make these moves look like they're actually presentable in front of these crowds.
Or how about
the way
do it
people
without
wanna
breaking
see
your
them.
fucking neck?
Yeah, like all that stuff takes time and it's effort, and a lot of it's just the guts to be able to put yourself out there to do a lot of this stuff. And then like imagine learning some of those moves just raw
Dude,
dog
Sam,
first time.
think
Here you
about
go,
this.
send it,
When you're 6'3", 240 pounds like our buddy Sam Adonis, and he's doing a shooting star press. Yeah, fuck you. But let's get back
getting out of bed in the morning. I couldn't imagine doing a shooting star press. So for anybody
Hell
saying
no,
it's fake,
dude.
just go look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Just give yourself a good smack. It's fine.
I'll
And
kick
just
you
move
in the
on.
balls, all right? But with that being said, is Dax Harwood in the running for Wrestler of the Year yet, or what? If you guys are watching this, is Dax Harwood in the running for Wrestler of the Year? That's all I want to know.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about that with the matches he's had, dude.
I mean,
incredible.
and I'm not just talking about tag team matches. I'm talking about as a whole. The match
Dude,
he
think
had with
about
CM
that,
Punk, fire. The match with
yep.
him and Cash, fire.
Adam Cole, fire.
Fire.
Yeah, just the run he's been on all year. He's definitely in the early front runnings for Wrestler.
Big money Dax, man. That's all I can say right now. Big money Dax Harwood. All I can say right now.
And now look at them now. They've solidified themselves as, you can't say they're not the best tag team in wrestling. They hold.
I mean, how the fuck? I mean, the only thing they got left to do is win the AEW belt, and it's perfect that. I mean, and it's perfect that the Bucks are the ones that have the AEW belts, because for them to have to fight for the Ring of Honor belts, dude, it couldn't be more of a storybook type thing. If they win all the belts, there's not really going to be much of an argument, because if you think about that, at that point, that means they've won both sets of WWE tag team titles multiple times. They won the NXT titles multiple times. They're one of only, I think, 2 or 3 teams to win them more than once. Then they've won the IWGP titles. They've won the AEW titles. They've won the AAA titles. They've won the IWGP titles.
What's left to do, right? Best tag team in the world. You can't really argue that.
I mean, look, dude, I mean, say what you want about wrestling, but we're talking about titles on every corner of the fucking globe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Say what you want. For a company, that many companies to put their belts on you at one time, there has to be, like, I mean,
yeah, you must stand out amongst your peers. I mean, you could say right when maybe this other slightly smaller organization gets your hands on somebody.
Sophia agrees. Cody, what do you think? Where's Dax at?
They'll move them into that position or something along those lines. But like when you're talking like the top tier organizations over and over, they're clearly seeing something in the talent why they want to move them up into that position. So
did they win the Impact titles too?
Yeah.
J-Bone?
I want to say yeah.
I feel like they did.
Yeah.
I feel like they did. So the only ones that they've got left to get at this point would be the major titles. They've got them all, but I mean, you could go try to get the GCW titles. You could go try to get the All Japan titles. Obviously, there's always more belts to win, but I mean, as far as major promotions, they've pretty much covered the gamut. Great match, in my opinion. I enjoyed the hell out of it. All right. Now, I fully have said that the All Atlantic title made no fucking sense to me. I said it. I said it's like their version of the European title. I said what I said.
You did.
Go ahead and at me. But with that being said, what a fucking match, dude. Dude, again, that should have been like the title to this. The Megasode, the AEW New Japan. What a fucking match. I mean, dude. Like for a title that I was not really such a big fan of going into it. I mean, between Miro It was Miro, Pac, Clark Connors, and Malachi Black. And Malachi Black, if anyone doesn't know, wake up. I think he's got one of the best entrances in wrestling right now. But aside from the entrance, just the dynamic of those four in a match. And I've never really gotten to see much of Clark Connors. So shout out to Clark Connors. Shout out to Clark. Shout out to Clark. Shout out to Clark. Clark, come on the show, Clark.
The New York came out of you.
Yeah, I know. I suddenly went back to Brooklyn for a minute, even though last time I was there it was pretty rainy. So I hope it's better weather right now. If you're watching from Brooklyn, let us know what the weather's like. I agree with you, Sophia. I think Pac is a great choice for the first champion. I think he's needed to get, some gold for a while because he's been highly touted as one of the best in AEW for a long time. I mean, him and the stuff that they've had with him and Malachi Black has been absolutely great. It was great to see Miro back in there. Miro is a fucking badass. I've said that ever since he came over to AEW. Look, dude, I don't want that guy beating me up. I don't want game over. I thought it was going to be game over for everybody else in this one. I said I thought Miro was going to win, but man, he locked the Rings of Saturn on fucking Clark Connors. And Clark Connors. Clark Connors tapped out, but I mean Clark Connors definitely made a good showing for himself. See? Connors won the crowd over. I agree 100% because that was the first time I saw him. I really didn't know much about him, but if I'm being honest with you right now, I would not have any problem if they continue to bring Clark Connors over and have him do his thing in AEW. If I'm being honest, I mean, that was a hell of a first time over here.
What a match.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would love to see if he shows up in Detroit tomorrow and says, I want to crack at Pac, I'm cool with it.
Talk about throwing him to the wolves. You're in there with Pac, Malachi Black, and Miro.
And you were a late replacement. Let's just not forget that.
Yeah, exactly. And you replaced
so you weren't even supposed to be in the match. Then they put you in the match, and then you just kill it. So shout out to Clark Connors. Shout out to Clark Connors.
That's some true rise up story right there. When like you say, when you're the replacement. To your point, you're in attendance, so clearly. And
he replaced Tomohiro Ishii. Can we just talk about the fact that he replaced Ishii of all people? We're not talking about just some fucking guy off the New Japan dojo. We're talking about Ishii, for goodness sake. Just saying. But go ahead.
It just, for him to be the replacement and to try, those are those moments that you hope for as an athlete, right? I've been an athlete, a retired athlete now for fucking longer than I was an athlete, but I was an athlete my whole life growing up, right? And those are the type of moments you always hope for, whether you're, in the second string or whatever your case, or on that rise up, or, whatever the case be. And you get that call, and then to actually live up to expectations and now potentially have a role to play going forward off of that one single moment. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
J-Bone, what'd you think about that match? What do you think about Pac as champ?
Oh, dude, I like it. It's good. Like you said, man, he's been there since pretty much the start of AEW. Dude deserves it.
I mean, he would have been there since the beginning, except he got caught and he got caught in England.
Yeah. So he's deserved it, man. It's good. It's good. And I know we talk a little bit about the Mid-Atlantic title being like a European title, but you can really kind of separate people from the pack. You know what I mean? Now you have your set people going for that title, and I guess if you think about it, it's going to give people more of a shine to get on TV, because now that title is going to make guys like Miro, Malachi Black, Pac, Clark Connors. It's going to make these guys a little more important instead of getting lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Now they're actually going for something. I mean, you can even put that title on Dark, on the buy-ins. It could matter. It just depends on what they do with it.
I mean, that's going to be the real question. I don't know how this title really plays out, because I feel like you were already kind of set in that area with having the AEW title and then having the TNT title. But being that you're in the spot with the interim title right now, I mean, who knows? Yeah. Maybe I don't know shit, and it's a good time for the champion.
You can only have so many guys going for one belt. You know what I mean? So this will kind of separate the pack a little bit and kind of. I mean, let's hope we get some legitimacy out of the belt, and get some prestige. So we'll see what happens. But first pick being Pac to have that belt, I'm cool with it, man.
Hey,
All right.
just to speak real quick on that part. I know you guys just being the spectator a lot when the wrestling end of the show is going on. You guys have both spoke up on Pac multiple times saying that you guys thought oh hey, he gets through this match. Is he on? Is he going to be the guy holding the belt? Is he going to be contending? And for him to to your guys' point, be the first one to hold this belt. I mean. Clearly, the organization felt the same way. They just weren't able, timing didn't necessarily work out. But, here he is in a showcase spot. So
good for him, man. Good for him.
Dude, it was a badass match. Shout out to Pac, your new AEW All-Atlantic Championship, although, son of a bitch. But with that being said, it's Sting! Oh, my God. That match, even though I said everything I said with the dudes with attitudes name that they gave him, dude, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sting is a G, all right, period. The fact that at 62 years old, this man was on top of the damn entranceway and doing a swan dive at 62 years old, all right? Give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stinger still got it, all right?
That right there, look, I'm gonna say this. That goes to show you the veteran mindset for a guy like Sting to be on a card like this. And top to bottom, this card is gonna be full of big moves, banger matches. Sting at 62 years old had that veteran mindset to say, how can I stand out amongst these young boys, man? How can I get in there and have people still talking about the icon Sting? And he did it, dude. So shout out to him.
Can we talk about his entrance first, though, dude? Like, that was badass.
Yeah.
That was badass.
Like the throwback Sting. Well, he didn't come out first, which was like a little worse.
No, and that's what was kind of cool. Like, at first, they play the song and
injuries. I thought he was injured. That's what I thought happened. I thought, oh shit, something happened. There's going to be a late replacement.
So they play the entrance, and there's no Sting coming down the ramp. And any of you that know Sting or remember Sting from the Nitro days, you remember he used to come down from the Raptors. Well, the lights went out. Next thing you know, the lights up in the air, and there's somebody in the Raptors. Then the lights go out again, and then the lights go on again, and Sting is on top of the damn Titantron. And just getting shit popping. So, I don't know. Shout out to Stinger. Shout out to Darby Allin. I mean, I don't understand how that guy is. I don't know how that guy.
That had to be like what, 12 feet, 13 feet, maybe.
I mean, at least like that. I mean, at least 8 or 10 feet. But at 62 years old, I don't know if my cojones are going to be that big still to be making drops like that. And his body is beat up pretty good. Right. Let's not forget that the man's had a broken fucking neck. Like, let's just add that in there.
Yeah, he's just coming off injury too. So
I think his whole little entrance and everything that he was able to pull off, man, that seemed. Looking back, that seemed to be the loudest thing on Twitter of the night was when he was, everybody was.
Dude, he just keeps stepping up the bar. And, I've heard Matt Hardy say it. Like, Matt Hardy said that Sting wants to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Sting is volunteering himself to do this stuff. Like,
and not to mention, in the match itself, he really kept up with the Bucks. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not looked out of place at all.
The super kick that he took, and it kind of stunned him, and he did the beating on his chest. That's classic Sting right there, dude. You know what I mean? The crowd loved it. The crowd was red hot for Sting, dude. That was actually amazing. I like that.
Yeah, I got nothing, man. That match, that match was badass. Like I said, I got nothing. It was badass, especially with that match kind of getting hit with a little bit of bad luck, being that Hiromu Takahashi couldn't compete with Shingo and Sting and Darby Allin, that he got the flu, so they wouldn't let him out of Japan. And Hikuleo from the Bullet Club was out there on the other side, dude. Dude, like I said, literally every match, and I'm not just saying that because I was there. Like, dude, I really had a good time at that show. It was a good time. But that match, again, lived up to what it was supposed to be. Shingo Takagi is a savage. I've said that for a long time. Shingo Takagi Yeah, I don't want that guy trying to kick my ass. And Bullet Club, I mean, he faced El Phantasmo and the Bucks, and we saw the Bucks back and dropping them super kicks real quick
Back
for
in
one more
Bullet
night. It was
Club
a super
gear,
kick party. I definitely would not mind seeing a little bit more of that. But what were your thoughts on that match, J-Bone? I mean, I think it definitely lived up. I definitely wouldn't be mad at Bullet Club is really making a resurgence, bro.
They really are, dude. And that's like I said, they always seem to find their way back into the mainstream of wrestling, whether it's New Japan, some type
They're everywhere. They're in New Japan, Impact, AEW.
And it's good to have them around. You need stuff like that. You need factions in wrestling. I always said that wrestling, it's a faction thing. You know what I mean? So, but just that match alone, man. The Bucks, dude. I know the Bucks get a lot of shit because they're what they call them on the internet, spot monkeys or something like that, dude.
Yeah, with everything else that we see in 2022,
right? Take that out of the Young Bucks' persona. Like, you just got another tag team. It sets them apart. You know what I mean? So, whatever.
The Young Bucks are going to go down as one of the best tag teams of all time. Period.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's just facts. Like, fuck. Not even talking about what like their impact on the business, dude. Like, I mean, think about it. The Young Bucks pretty much single-handedly. The Young Bucks put Bullet Club and put wrestling in Hot Topic.
Yeah, exactly. Smart minds.
You laugh, dude. They literally closed down. How many city blocks was that when they put them in Hot Topic? They literally had to turn people away because that many fucking people showed up to the Hot Topic because them and Kenny Omega were gonna be in the damn Hot Topic when they were still over there in New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I mean, I laugh. You're right, Kyle. Right? I laugh, but that's literally built in like distribution and like retail sales and everything all in one. They have the online aspect. They had everything literally all in one with the distribution aspect. All they had to do is basically print shirts, which was making money.
And they are printing money pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
You
this
talk
day,
about
Bullet
making
Club
money on an
shirts
indie
are
level
just
off
going
of
off the
shirts at
shelf,
Pro
dude.
Wrestling Tees, boy. Man. The Young Bucks will show you how to make some money, bro. I definitely enjoyed that match. So Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm. Now, the views definitely weren't bad. I'll just say that for starters. But shout out to our friends at Mission Pro Wrestling. They're killing it like always. Shout out to our friend Thunder Rosa. She retained the AEW women's title. What were your thoughts on that one, J-Bone?
That was another good match, man. And honestly, for what it was, like in a card that was so heavy with international superstars, this one, it kind of had like a floating place on the card. We didn't really know what we were going to get. I honestly didn't know where they're going to put it. That was my worry. Where are they going to put that match on the card? Because how do you follow all these good matches? You know what I mean?
And not to mention, I mean, even though Tony Storm has her back, like she has a long, extensive history in Japan, like you also have to take into account that she's been in WWE for a little bit, and now she's here in AEW. So with this being an AEW New Japan show, and she's newer to AEW, you don't know how that crowd's going to take to it. But I mean, all in all, dude,
and the modern fan don't really label her as like an international star. You know what I mean? Like
no, they don't.
wrestler.
Even though she had her time in Stardom and all that stuff, dude. Like I said, that's why I say I think she fit in a lot better than some fans necessarily would have thought. Because I don't think as many fans sometimes are as hip to what she's doing and what she's got going on. But I don't know. I thought a good match. I think Thunder Rosa kept the title. I don't know yet who I think might be the person that eventually wins that title from her. But I mean, hell, we are still on the run of Thunder. And I mean, hey, shout out to our guy, Jeremiah Wilkerson. He he's over there with the Mission Pro people. Like I said, we are definitely going to have to make it down to Texas and do another show. Maybe have to sponsor another show. If you haven't done so, make sure you go hit that subscribe button so you can go back and check out our episode with Busted Open's Dave LaGreca. And Cory had to explain his New York Mets hat. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Shout out to Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, and our guy Ryan McKinnell from Busted Open. Make sure you check them out. All right, now we get to talk about the match that I said I was really kind of I was really thinking was going to steal the show, and that's Osprey versus Orange Cassidy. J-Bone, you want to start this one?
Sure. I mean, I think in a way it did. It was probably if you really take all these matches top to bottom, it was probably the most underlooked match on that entire card, if you think about it. Because Orange Cassidy, another guy, long, extensive history, international, everywhere you think. You don't really look at him as a superstar. You know what I mean? And for him to be in the ring with a guy like Will Osprey, dude, banger of a match. They put on a show, dude. And then the ending was great. Top to bottom, that was a great match, dude. And like you said, it wasn't my match of the night, but
wasn't my match of the night, but it could
definitely be an argument for the show stealer, dude. Definitely.
I mean, it definitely was a banger, dude. Go ahead.
It's probably the one that wins the award of like most appreciated but underappreciated going into the card, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that. Kathy, I hope you're still in here watching because we got plenty for you too. We get to talk about my dumbass on commentary. Shout out to Matt Friendo. You know, they're coming down river. If you guys are in the Detroit area, you know, stay tuned. I feel like we're going to be seeing some fights coming real near you real soon. Dude, great match. It was great to see Osprey again. The last time I got to see Osprey in person was at G1 Supercard a few years ago for Ring of Honor New Japan. Dude, like I said, I just have always been a fan of the guy. Like, I've always been a fan of his work. I think he's really put a lot of time into getting bigger. You know, he's gotten better on the mic. His group that he's got together with Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan and Aussie Open. I mean, dude, like I said, Zack Sabre is something that needs to be watched out at. I mean, whenever his contract comes up with New Japan, I'm sure they're paying him very well over there. He's definitely somebody that either one of these companies could definitely benefit from. He was just here on the same show working with our buddy El Rudo de las Chicas, Sam Adonis, in the same building I was just doing commentary in this past Saturday night in Grand Rapids. So, I mean, Will Ospreay, like I said, is badass. The backflip sequence, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was dude.
A good touch.
These dudes, now those guys, you could maybe say, do they got springs in their legs? Because, like, he did a backflip off the top ropes, missed. He knew Orange Cassidy was going to move, anticipated that, and then threw another backflip and still hit him. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, how are your legs not just shot? Again, Will Ospreay has gotten a lot bigger, ladies and gents. So I'm just saying that was quite impressive to me. Well, after the match, Aussie opened. Yeah, you're not kidding to do that. You either got that or you got springs in your ass, dude. Whatever it is, but
it's ring.
It's the ring, dude.
It's a trampoline ring. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot. Sorry, sue me. It's a trampoline ring. Sorry, I forgot. Bro. But dude, UE comes out and they're beating the hell out of Orange Cassidy. Here comes Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, who were also in that triple threat for the ROH and IWGP titles. Roppongi Vice coming out to make the save. And then who comes out to save the day but fucking Shibata? Hot damn it. Like, that guy, he was the one that was the originator with the flying headbutt and all that. And because of a lot of that, everybody thought he was going to have to be done. He also has had a big influence on the New Japan dojo. And for him to come down and save the day for Freshly Squeezed, somebody done fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, somebody done
gave
fucked
him
up.
Glasses at the end of that, like a sign of respect, show of respect and friendship. Pretty cool stuff at the end of that match.
I'm just saying, I don't want no spoke with Shibata. I don't want no flying headbutts. I don't want no. Andy,
how was the crowd pop when he reached into Orange Cassidy's pockets? He had him in the abdominal stretch there, and he's reaching in the pocket and he just pulls out and he goes like this and flips off the crowd, dude. that one got me. I was like, oh hell yeah.
Will Osprey is the shit, bro. I'm
That was
sorry.
good.
Like I
Thinking
said,
of that,
Will
that was
Osprey
good.
is an asshole and is entertaining and an asshole. Like I said,
that's good wrestling psychology right there.
I mess with it. Sophia, where you at? We're getting ready to talk about Claudio Castagnoli coming back. The next match on the card was the one that a lot of people was talking about. In Claudio Castagnoli making his debut in AEW against Zack Sabre Jr. Now, here's a fun fact. When we were working with Evolve, we got to see Zack Sabre Jr. a lot, and I got to see him wrestle in what is that? No, Livonia, Michigan at the Knights of Columbus, and then I'm seeing this guy inside the United Center, and I've also watched him wrestle in the Tokyo Dome and everywhere else too. So that's pretty wild. But well, dude, I mean, he's been everywhere. Like, he's worked with everybody. Like, I mean, he was in part of the Cruiserweight Classic in WWE. Don't know how the fuck they were stupid and never signed him. Then he went to New Japan, has been killing it in New Japan for years at this point. Rev Pro in England. I mean, dude, if you don't know who Zack Sabre Jr. is, Kathy, I see you're here. We've got plenty of MMA to talk about. I want to know what you thought about Lights Out 8 and what we've got coming with the UFC. If there were ever a wrestler for me to recommend to you with being an MMA fan, Zack Sabre Jr. will tie you up in a pretzel and make you think it's a cherry stem. Just saying. But like I said, Claudio fucking Castagnoli comes in to face Zack Sabre Jr. I think it was the perfect fit for the Blackpool Combat Club. I like the we're getting back to the Swiss part of them with the black and red in the shorts, and damn, I wonder if Zack Sabre Jr.'s head's still spinning, huh?
Yeah, right. Hey, honestly, when that match started, he came out so red hot, dude. I thought he was gonna put him away in that first 10-15 seconds.
Well, dude, he came out hot. He hit him with the Gotch neutralizer in the first 10 seconds. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah,
like, he's about to hit him.
Thing. Like, no
That's
way,
his finish.
Yeah,
Pins them and it goes to 2. I'm like, well, hot damn, we might not be working by the hour, ladies and gents.
Right.
Like,
hey,
it was a hot start for sure.
Wild, dude. Another good match though. Like I said, dude, how do you like? There's got to be somebody in the back. Like this, the next match is probably standing at the curtain. Like, you dick, I gotta go out there.
Damn.
Top that.
Damn, not only did he do his finisher within 15, now I got to do my finisher in 5 seconds. What the?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
Come on, man. Take it easy on me out there. You know.
They hadn't faced each other in so long. Had a great match too. Didn't miss a step. Claudio looked great. I agree completely. That T-shirt's badass too. I might have to buy one of those at Blood and Guts tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie.
The one you wore out to the zip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the T-shirt they put out, is pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost thought about buying the hoodie that Mox wore out to the ring for that one. I hadn't seen that one before. The Blackpool Combat Boy with the all black with the white, and then on the back it says "Forged in Combat." I thought that was pretty badass. Definitely was a fan of that one. She said the same thing. She thought it was going to be a squash match, and I'm like, damn, they're going to do Zack Sabre Jr. like that. And boy, were we wrong, man. They beat the shit out of each other. There was probably about 120 European uppercuts.
Yeah.
These dudes' jaws were clicking. I appreciate all those reactions. Make sure you're sharing it, and I want you guys to join the damn conversation. I ain't scared. What did you think of AEW Forbidden Door? All right. Now we're to the match that I think most people were kind of excited for. We're Fatal 4-Way. You're talking about Okada. You're talking about Switchblade Jay White. You're talking about the Hangman for some cowboy shit. And I'm drawing a blank on number 4. Adam Cole, baby. What am I doing? Boom. But like I said, it was, dude, my favorite match of the night. I've said this, like I said, all the matches were good, but this was my favorite match of the night. From start to finish, it was so dope to see Okada in the States again. Can we just talk about the fact that even though Okada can't speak English, like, that guy is fucking money.
Oh, dude, yeah. He's a what's the word?
Good looking some bitch, dude. Looks like $1 million. Can wrestle his ass off.
He's a wrestling attraction, dude. Wherever you put him, the Rainmaker, dude, money maker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dude,
Yeah, you're not lying, Sophia. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Shout out to Adam Cole. Hopefully he's all right, because I definitely think he got his fucking bell rung at the end of that match, because, boy, the ending of that looked wonky, because my man did not get up. Like, it was, he got his bell rung for sure. Again, he fake super kicked him, folks. He fake super kicked him. But with that being said, dude, that match was badass. I really hope that we see Okada in AEW more. Like, that was one of the things that really was surprising to me when they did the Ring of Honor G1 Supercard. Now, granted, I don't know what it costs Ring of Honor to get Okada over there, but, like, dude, to see Okada on AEW and on mainstream TV more would be badass, because I'm serious. When I say this dude is like the Rock of Japan,
pretty much.
I mean, I feel like that's not really a understatement.
Right. It's one of those things too. It's like, he's good to have in wrestling anywhere wrestling is, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you don't want to like water him down by putting him everywhere. Because he is just that. He's a wrestling attraction, especially coming to the States. It's a very big deal when he comes to the States to wrestle. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Like,
well, if I'm not mistaken, dude, I don't remember him being in the States to wrestle since G1 Supercard. And that was 3 years ago now.
Yeah. And I think that's why it was such a big deal for him to be in that match, you know?
Right. Even though you've got New Japan Strong that's been running out of LA, we haven't seen Okada over here in a while.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that was a big thing. And then, again, you know, shout out to Switchblade Jay White. I'm not going to lie. He was really cracking me up in the post-show press conference, because, like, they couldn't set his belt up right, and he's, like, cussing out homie who's... What the fuck? You can't even get somebody to set my damn belt up right. My belt's on the floor. I'm the IWGP champ, and we can't even set up my belt right. Like, he was just going in on Tony Khan while he's putting his arm around him. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
I just like the look on Tony Khan's face throughout this whole thing. He's looking around like, is somebody going to come up here and help out? Like, come on, guys. Like, do something. Somebody do something.
But, dude, again, like, that match, bro, that match was, again, I mean, for me, that might have been match of the night. Shout out to Switchblade Jay White. He won the belt. It's going to be, and you know what's crazy about all this? Here's the thing. Now, we don't know what the finish of that match was supposed to be, but you got to wonder, with the way that one played out, he pinned his undisputed elite Bullet Club brother man, Adam Cole. Baby, he pinned Adam Cole. So I feel like Adam Cole's not going to take that very well, because let's not forget, he hit the Blade Runner right before that, tossed Hangman out the ring, and pinned Cole.
Yeah.
So
a lot of questions, a lot more questions than answers at the end of that match. Especially,
well, I mean, if Switchblade's got some explaining to do, apparently. So I don't know, man. It's
another great match, though, and what a
plot twist.
Yeah, I was about to say what a twist of the match. And I mean, this fucking pay-per-view was so injury plagued, dude. It just sucks that Adam Cole had to have some type of injury at the end of the match.
Let's hope that he's all right.
Get out of the pay-per-view unscathed. You know what I mean? Like, damn it. It was a very injury-plagued pay-per-view, but for what it was, what a great show, top to bottom, right? How do you complain at a show like that?
I mean, you really can't, dude. You really can't. All in all, shout out to AEW. Definitely a great time. I enjoyed the hell out of the show. I hope it's something that we can see more. I definitely feel like the response that we've seen on social media and everything from Forbidden Door so far was dope. Again, thank you all you guys who are joining the stream. If you're joining the stream, what did you think of AEW Forbidden Door? We're about to get into our picks for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Hey, shout it what you drink. Hey, Speaking of Money in the Bank, make sure you get down and check out the homies. G3 Payroll, Tax, and Accounting. Get you some money in the bank come tax time and get your shit together, get your finances together. Go check out the homie Jack and tell him Knockouts and 3 Counts sent you, and you have some money in the bank so you can get shouty a drink. But with that being said, it's time for some predictions. You see what I did there? You like that, don't you? But with that being said, go ahead.
Before we go any further, I posed the question on Twitter, and this is for you too. Who out of everybody, that entire card, top to bottom, anybody who participated, who's your MVP for that entire pay-per-view?
Clock.
That's a tough one.
That's tough, right? It's tough.
Can I do like a 1 and a 1A?
Sure. Like there's a lot. I mean, I got a 1 and a 1A, but I kind of keep it to 1. But sure, you can do it however you want. You want me to go first?
Number one's got to be. And this isn't going to be the pick that everybody thinks, because most people think I would say Moxley. Well, shit, and there we go. See, Sophia Mox, great comeback story. I can't argue that. You're right. I would say Mox. I feel like Mox is like the easy answer, but bro, I think it might have been Switchblade.
Okay.
I think it might have been Switchblade, bro, because what we got coming out of that, he showed he don't give a fuck. If you're Bullet Club, he don't care if you're Undisputed Elite. Give me my paycheck, give me my belt. King Switch. I mean, hey, you can have your favorites. I'm not mad at that, but my 1A has got to be Claudio, because hot damn, that crowd was wild when he came out, dude. When he hit him with the boom, boom, man, I'm just saying. Just saying. So that's my number 1 and 1A.
Agree with you on Jay White, man. Switchblade.
We didn't talk about this before the show, just for the record.
Yeah, that guy was in a fatal 4 with arguably 3 of the best wrestlers in the entire world. You know what I mean? And for him to come out on top, solidifying,
and he's
himself,
not even 30.
I was about to say he's still young.
He's not even fucking 30.
He just set the bar and the prestige for that IWGP championship.
He's been wrestling. He hasn't put this into context for you people. He's not 30, and he hasn't even been wrestling 10 years yet. And he's already won the IWGP title, IWGP Intercontinental title, IWGP Heavyweight title, IWGP Tag Team title. He's won all the belts already in New Japan. And he's not even 30. And we're talking about a guy that, again, for everybody that wants to say the New Japan Dojo, he went to the New Japan Dojo, came out of the dojo, and now has won all the titles in that bitch. So
he made a good point at the media scrum. He's the only Bullet Club leader that has won.
And that's won them all. And just to give you guys an idea of who we're talking about Bullet Club leaders, AJ Styles was a Bullet Club leader. You had Kenny Omega is the Bullet Club leader. I mean,
Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor.
Fergal Devitt, Finn Balor was the creator of Bullet Club.
Hey,
just saying,
laying down the foundation. That's your future.
Facts.
Right,
I'm laying down facts.
That's the future.
Just saying. Claudio,
my 1A is not Claudio. It's actually, I got a little bias here because of my childhood. I love Sting. Sting, like I said, dude found a way.
Hey, dude.
To matter.
The icon
that was so stacked with young talent and big matches. That guy found a way to stand out. That's that veteran wrestling mentality right there. So that's my 1A. Kudos to him.
That's all I got. I'm not mad at that at all. All right. So we also got Money in the Bank. Cory, I want you to chime in on this once we kind of get through these predictions, because they're going head to head with UFC 276 on the same day in the same fucking city. Nick Khan, you've been doing a lot of moving around, but I don't know how in the hell this one went oversight, because how the hell you booked it for not only the same day, but the same city, and thought that you were going to get them to kick them out of the T-Mobile Arena. And now you are in the Michelob Ultra Center, which I think is going to make that crowd insane. It's going to be a hot crowd because that's not that big of an arena. So for a pay-per-view that's going to have that much action in it, that crowd is going to be loud. So I'm going to preface this by saying that, because we're all going to be linking up this Saturday to watch those fights. We're going to have Money in the Bank on the screen. We're going to have UFC on the screen. Yeah, dude. What are your thoughts on Money in the Bank, J-Bone?
Hey, man, like I said, honestly, there's been so much going on. I forgot it was on Saturday night. I thought it was still a Sunday. But hey, there's a lot going on. But man, it's like we said, it's tough going against the UFC in the same city on International Fight Week. You gotta have some balls to do that, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if low numbers come out of it, but at the same time, it's not a bad card, and Money in the Bank's always fun. So we're gonna have to see, man. It's definitely interesting and intriguing. So
all right, well let's make some picks. All right, let's make some picks. Let's make some picks. We're not going to go in super in depth in this one. We've already been talking a while. We've got a lot of MMA to talk about. Kathy, like I said, I am going to give you a full breakdown of running my mouth and even not hitting the mute button and calling one of the fighters a Carlos Newton lookalike. But hey, hey man, that guy looked a lot like Carlos Newton. I didn't say it disrespectfully. I said it as a compliment. I saw that guy and immediately thought of Carlos Newton. Carlos Newton was a bad motherfucker if you were watching fights back in the day. I'm just saying. I don't mean that as any kind of disrespect. Just saying. You think what show is almost sold out? Money in the Bank? Well, it should be because it's a much smaller arena. Yeah. It most definitely should sell out, and I'm sure it will by the time Saturday.
Wait, where were they originally at? They weren't in T-Mobile.
They were originally going to be. Yeah, they were going to be in Allegiant Stadium, and you couldn't do T-Mobile because the UFC's there.
Right. That's
so
a big stadium to try to sell tickets to, man, on International Fight Week in the same city.
Well, that's a good question. Do you guys think that they should keep it to the Big Four, or do you like Money in the Bank being added as one of the Big Five? It being the Big Five. I mean, I could see why you would add it. With it being, with it being what it is. I mean, let's not forget, if you win Money in the Bank, you can cash that. You hold that bitch for up to a year and cash it in at any time. You don't have to make it a set match. Somebody could have just got their ass whipped, and you can pull a Seth Rollins and run out there, stomp a motherfucker, and win the belt. So, just saying.
As an MMA fan who has pay-per-views, it seems like every 3 weeks to deal with, and ours are much more expensive, by the way. I don't have.
Well, UFC needs to get with the program, and they followed everything else WWE's done. They need to follow that next. Just saying.
Yeah, I full-heartedly agree. But that being said, I don't see an issue with it in that regard because they're still the marquee talent. They're still when the majority of people think of wrestling, they think of WWE.
No, they'll always be the industry leader. Don't mistake that.
Yeah. So with that being said, I don't see a reason why they can't bump it to the 5 and the 6. And even if they just did it sporadically, like, hey, we have this super interesting card that we're going to name this spin-off, one-off type thing, and we're going to do this as like a crowning achievement of the year. Like, didn't they do that with the Saudi Arabia card or something like that? Wasn't that
those are like special shows? Like, I mean, I don't mind there being big ones, but I mean, if we're keeping them, like when I say the Big Five, like, so back in the 80s, dude, there only was 4 pay-per-views. You had the Royal Rumble, you had WrestleMania, you had Survivor Series, and what was the 4th one, J-Bone?
SummerSlam, yeah.
Yep. So you had 4 big pay-per-views. So they've always had the 4. Quarterly, so for you to add a 5th one to be, I mean, and obviously now we're getting one every month, sometimes close to twice a month. But when I say the Big 4, those 4, even now with all the pay-per-views that you see, I mean, as you can see, they're gearing, SummerSlam is after Money in the Bank, and they've already announced the main event for that is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again. So, I mean, it looks like they're already kind of looking past it in a way. This is why I'm saying, do you think that we should keep it to the Big 4 and keep Money in the Bank as like a big one? But do you think that they should keep it to like keep doing it in arenas, or do you think that it could continue to sell if it were planned better in arenas? And for everybody that's watching, feel free to chime in the comments.
Look, man, I'm old school with it though. Like, I don't think you need to put your 4 major pay-per-views in stadiums. You're gonna sell out WrestleMania. That's a given. Royal Rumble, you're going to sell. That's a given. That's arguably the second most popular pay-per-view in wrestling. SummerSlam, summertime. Maybe put Money in the Bank back on one of these major cards. Put Money in the Bank on SummerSlam. Remember how it was on WrestleMania?
How about it just be on WrestleMania like it always was? Right. But I mean, it made it its own pay-per-view now, though.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly just don't think you need it to be its own pay-per-view. Granted, don't get me wrong. It's created some great moments, but especially at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, something like that's a big pay-per-view. One, it gives more guys a shot to be on the card. And 2, it's another attraction in itself. Anybody, whoever wins that contract is pretty much shot to the forefront. Like at any time, they could be the champion. Look at the
You
Dolph
should
Ziggler
be.
situation.
I mean, the only person
Dolph
who's
Ziggler-
ever
Dolph Ziggler
cashed it
was a
in,
quote unquote mid Carter, and then cash it on Raw. They loved.
he had one of the best
You know what I mean?
cash-ins of all time. Him
One
and
of
The
the
Miz
best
had the best
cash-ins.
cash-ins of all time.
So why not put it on a major pay-per-view and keep the 4? Now you're selling out 4 major pay-per-views a year in a stadium. I don't know. I hope they go back to that. I'd rather see that, to be honest.
I mean, yet again, like I always do, spin it back into my world where I know the most from. I do absolutely love when we see these banger cards that are on, the ESPN, highlight featured event type of, or like how they're doing this upcoming Long Island one where it's an ABC card. Like, they're going to try their best to build that up. And I would also appreciate that approach if WWE went that way, where they're like, hey, this is
And AEW is doing something really similar to that too. So
yeah, this is a free event, but it is a premium free event. You know what I mean? Like this is, a top
like a special
free
You could do like back in the day they used to do. I mean, they were still pay-per-views, but they used to do in your house back in the day. Those weren't like, I mean, they were pay-per-views, but they weren't like.
Hey,
but I
back in my day, we had Saturday night's main events.
I was gonna say J-Bone knows what I'm talking about though. Back in the day, it used to be like WWF in your house, Canadian Stampede, which was one of the best fucking pay-per-views of all time. But it wasn't like one of the major pay-per-views, but it ended up being a big show. Or like in AEW, how you see AEW doing the AEW Beach Break and all that kind of stuff. You could easily go back to doing that as like, as like a free TV show that's built like a big show. I mean, kind of like what we're seeing with NXT with like them bringing back like the Great American Bash and Vengeance and all those things. Like they could completely do that. But let's get into this money.
Main events was a big one back in the 80s too.
I got to go to a Saturday night's main event, ring the bell. I also got to see Stone Cold stun some people there. Let's see. I saw Donald Trump punch McMahon at that thing. I saw a lot of stuff over there. I mean, shit. But with Money in the Bank coming, Money in the Bank, you got Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Omos, Sami Zayn, and Riddle. Who do you think the last one for Money in the Bank is going to be, and who are you picking as your winner? Cory, you go first.
If you're teeing me off on something like this, I could either see.
You can't tell me you don't know who these motherfuckers are at this point.
Wait, there's still a spot left, right? You said,
but I definitely.
There's one spot left. I think they're determining that on SmackDown.
Keep that in mind, Cory. It could be somebody that's not even listed yet. So.
Yeah, but I'm gonna play with the balls that I got. You know what I mean?
It's probably a good thing. You don't want to play with somebody else's balls. That might not be greatly appreciated.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. When they were talking a lot about Mrs. Balls. Now, talking about somebody's balls and playing with their balls.
Two completely different stories. So that being said,
it's getting late on knockouts and 3 counts, folks. You can tell.
After dark.
I'm thinking it's between Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. I'm not mad at that. Okay.
That was going to be my first one I was going to list off with Seth Rollins. I feel like he's on a huge trajectory upward. I feel like they've, put him yet again.
Just took Cody out.
They put him in some real highlight matches and stuff. And to your point with the absence of Cody, who they seem to have been kind of, giving that potential title rise to, I could definitely see him in there. And then my second one, fellow long-haired fellow like me, got to go with
bro. Yeah, dude, I'm not mad at that. I would love to see Riddle win it. I'm just saying. I've been saying this for a while. I would love to see Matt Riddle win this shit. Who are you going with, J-Bone?
That just brings up an interesting question. Maybe you can shed some light on it. So, isn't Riddle not allowed to challenge Roman for the title as long as he's the champ? And that what the newest, because when he lost him on SmackDown,
that is true. That is true.
The thing. So,
okay.
If Seth wins,
much
he
as I'd love to
could
see-
recreate the cash in he did at WrestleMania and do it at SummerSlam after the last man standing match. He damn well could. You know,
Yeah.
she's talking about WrestleMania 31, where he came down after that main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, cashed that bitch in, and took that belt home.
As much as I'd love to see Seth Rollins continue that, because let's face it, he's probably the top guy in that match. But
for sure,
we're gonna get more if I'm writing it.
If you got the potential.
I got the potential. We haven't talked about the potential.
What up, no, Donald? What up, no?
I'm gonna choose Riddle because I think we're gonna need some more backstory on why, like, how are they gonna get around the stipulation of, hey, you can't challenge Roman for the title. But
Sophia confirmed it. Sophia is our fact checker tonight.
If you have money in the bank, that's got to be null and void, right? That's a whole nother layer to that story.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're not wrong.
Or
And
maybe he cashes in. He knows he can't challenge Roman Reigns, interferes in that Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match some way, shape, or form, costs him the title, and then cashes in on Brock.
Could you imagine Brock Lesnar versus Riddle though? Like if
that would be insane,
that
right?
would be a fucking Matt. Like, dude, for those of you guys who aren't like as hip on Matt Riddle in the UFC, I just want to preface this to you. If there were very many people in the WWE who I actually would like to see fight Brock Lesnar and actually think they could fight with him. Now, I'm not saying that Brock might not be able to take him down and get on top of him because he's that much bigger. But I would say that Matt Riddle would put up just as good a fight as anybody, because I would still argue that there are very few people in WWE that Brock Lesnar couldn't like demolish and destroy. I'm just saying. Like, if we're really being honest, like, I'm just saying.
If we're talking
the alpha
about
male of our species, as
alpha male of the fucking globe, dude. Like, I would argue that he's got to be in like the top 5% of like males on the planet.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the bro real quick, I mean, Riddle really he has such a weird story with how his release and shit went with the
He's
UFC
taking
and,
Ziggler. Okay, I like it. Ziggler's a badass too. He's got the most pins at Kent State. Like, Dolph Ziggler's a legit, like, he's not a bum, but
hey, Mr. Perfect took him down at 30,000 feet.
That's Mr. Perfect, damn it. Mr. Perfect could shoot a ball backwards and hit that bitch.
Yeah, you're right. Catches his own passes.
You're not wrong. See, Donald dropping the facts. That's what I like. Drop them comments. Share this bitch. Let a friend know. We need people to chime in. And Donald, but we're getting off the wrestling pretty much after we get done with this. But J Bone's got some things to say about that Deathmatch Circus. So hang tight. Yeah, I'm going with Riddle on this one too. I think Riddle makes the most sense. But I wouldn't be surprised if Seth freaking Rollins wins either. So I'm that's kind of where I'm going on this one. All right. Women's Money in the Bank ladder.
Looks like the non-wrestling guy knew what he might be talking about. Huh?
Yeah, look at Cory go, man.
Picks, huh? You guys like those picks,
Look at Cory go. Hey, here's another one, though. Hey, let me just throw this one out there. What if, and this is just a what if. I don't think it's going to happen, but what if? Maybe John Cena is that last man in there, wins it, and then we get a triple threat match at SummerSlam. That'd be cool. I don't think that's going to happen.
I just had an idea. I just had an idea come to my head
Would
for
be
Saturday.
cool.
I'm gonna just need you to hold on for a second.
Uh-oh. Kyle's up to something. Anytime he leaves the mic, you know he's up to something.
He's up to that shit again.
You know,
Kyle's
I
on that
still
shit
am
again.
the reigning and defending motherfucker with this bitch. All right, I won this at the Royal Rumble. I say we should come up with some kind of thing for Money in the Bank on Saturday with the UFC being involved too. I say we got to come up with some kind of pot since we're all linking up for these fights. If you guys are watching this and can think of some fun game that we can play that's themed with Money in the Bank or the UFC or a combination of the both, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll have to throw that together for Saturday. All right. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Carmella is very underrated. I think it's a good thing to see her in there. She's somebody different, but I definitely think in this one, she's going to be, she's just somebody to kind of get Bianca through. I think Bianca is going to hold on to the belt. I think Bianca will be a champion for a little while here. I don't think Carmella is the one to take it off her, but I think they're going to have a good match.
Yeah, agreed. Basically summed up my point as well. I think Bianca's in just a bigger place.
I'm not mad at it. Gunther! He's still Walter to me, but Gunther can be in that match. And if Gunther's in there, guard your nipples.
I'd be cool. I'd be cool with him being in that match, actually. So, hey, I mean, if I'm not
Becky
mistaken,
or Liv for the women's Money in the Bank. Okay. And then Bianca retained.
Carmella was an injury replacement, right? For Rhea Ripley? Okay, yeah.
Rhea Ripley's hurt. That's why we haven't seen her with the Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and it looks like they might be trying to recruit Dominic Mysterio. Oh shit! Yeah. It's going to be the Mysterios versus Finn and Damian next week on Raw in San Diego. Oh shit! All right. Well, since Sophia already threw her pick out for the women's Money in the Bank match, we've got Becky Lynch finally got her win, even though I think they totally did that way too soon. Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka the Bazooka. Shotzi versus Lacey Evans. You know what scares me is now that Becky Lynch is in this shit, I wonder if they'll have her win. But
it's a safe pick.
God damn it. All right. Donald says Liv wins. Liv wins. You know what? Liv has been there for her to kind of be at that point to get her shot. She's had a couple shots at the women's title. Didn't look so good the first time. I'm just saying she's still newer, and I've met Liv. Liv is good people. I would not be mad, and she's not hard at all to look at. I'm just saying. But look, I would not be mad at all if she gets her shot. I think that the fans are still obviously into her, so I'm not mad at that at all. But
I'm agreeing with Donald.
All right, so we've got 2 for Liv. Cory, who are you picking?
I mean, I could definitely see that as an option. Run me through my other ones again, sorry.
Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Shotzi, and Lacey Evans.
So, as an outside perspective, it seems like she's the one that, being Liv Morgan, seems the one that you guys have pumped up the most on the show and just brought up the most as a topic. So I truly have to agree with you guys.
All right, so we've got 3 for Liv Morgan. Well, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm going against the grain. I think
I wanted to, but I couldn't. I just
almost a clean sweep.
Yeah.
I think I want to say something in me wants to still say Becky Lynch, dude. Like them putting her in there. I'm going to go with Lacey Evans.
Oh, man. What? All right.
I'm going to go with Lacey Evans. I wanted to say Alexa Bliss, but they had Liv beat her. You know what? I'm going to go against the grain. I very well might lose on this one, but fuck it. Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. How the fuck? What? Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. How the fuck are we just getting this match? And they were like friends before she ever got into WWE. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think if it's given the time, this match could be one that really could, do something. I think with the match's submissions. I don't think having Ronda and a sharpshooter for a long time is the way to go. But like I say, of course, I can't argue with that one. I think Ronda retains, but I think with what Sophia said, I think it's going to be a very competitive match. I like the story. I like heel Natty. I just would like to see Natty kept somewhere near the top of the card, although we know that's not going to happen. I just hope WWE knows what they have in Natty, and I think this shows that. I don't know. Maybe Ronda Rousey had something to do with that. I think Ronda Rousey retains. I think that's a simple one. This match is interesting, especially after what we saw on Raw last night with John Cena and the way he put over the Street Profits and all that. We got the Street Profits versus the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Do the Usos retain, or do the Street Profits not only take the smoke, they take the gold?
Usos all day.
I think we're all on the same page on that one. I'm going Usos on that one. Bobby Lashley versus past guest of the motherfucking show. That's why you got to hit that subscribe button. Austin Theory. Austin Theory, bro. See, Donald going. Oh, shit. Now look at Donald going against the grain. He thinks the Street Profits.
Damn.
Sophia chiming in with the Usos.
Yeah.
Now I got to say what to you. Come on now, guy. Lashley wins. Wow. So you think they're going to have him beat Theory? I disagree. I think Theory is winning this one. I think it's clear that Theory's the guy they want to build up. Vince, damn, Donald. Damn.
Hey,
come on, man.
I'm with it.
Come on, man. Dang. But I mean, shout out to Austin Theory, dude. I think he was the MVP of making the most out of his time with John Cena on Monday Night Raw last night, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, did he read Cena the riot act. Whenever Cena does come back, if him and Austin Theory don't fight, hot damn.
It'll be there. That little rivalry will be there for sure. Maybe even SummerSlam. We'll see.
I mean, he's like a 2022 version of John Cena.
Yeah.
Without the bald spot.
Hey, man.
Can you believe John Cena's 45?
Hey, man. Looks good for 45.
If I can look like that at 45, hot damn it, let's go.
Right.
Sophia says she thinks SummerSlam. We'll see. It all depends with his movie schedule. Shout out to John Cena. Before we make our pick on we did make our pick on all of them. Yeah, because there is no undisputed championship match on this one. So,
right.
Yeah, dude, I would have no problem with that happening that way. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with SummerSlam. I think his movies are going to be in there, but I got to give a shout out to John Cena real quick. Okay. This dude has and again, I know a lot of people don't give a shit about this, but it means a lot to me. And since I'm the host of the show, I get to hit the buttons. With that being said, this dude has granted over 650 fucking wishes. So if you can't find it in your cold black heart to give a hats off to that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I find that to be really cool. I think that's I don't know. That just really, with me working with kids with disabilities and all those things, and even up until just a week ago, he finds out that this kid is sick as a dog and his mom had to move him to, I forgot what country that was, to go get him treatment. Yeah. And Cena stops what he's doing and goes to see the kid and all that, man. Like I said, dude,
you can't take anything away from that. And when you're doing it that many, you could say as a, public figure and stuff, once you do it the 2-3 times, you're like, okay, that guy did it as like a means to be nice, but, really was just trying to get his, a little bit of fame out of it as well. And, moved on with his life. But when you're talking about doing it that many times for that many different people,
and with the schedule the man has.
Yeah. So you can't take any.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean,
anyway.
And when you talk about wrestling, I think I'm going to put Donald's comment up here on the screen. J-Bone, I'd love for you to elaborate on this. So Cena came in 2002. I still remember where I was the night that Cena debuted. I was in my old house. This is before I moved over to Taylor, where I'm at now. I remember him coming down to the ring and smacking the piss out of Kurt Angle's mouth. And, he smacked the taste out of Kurt Angle's mouth and showed that he had ruthless aggression. Yeah, dude, I still remember where I was for that. I remember the Doctor of Thugonomics, that whole run. I remember him giving Steph's ass a smack. I remember all of it. I'm not going to lie, in high school, when he really got into the hustle, loyalty, respect part of it, I wasn't the biggest fan, like Donald said. That's why I wanted to highlight this. Because, I mean, I think all of us, especially if you were a high school kid at that point, you kind of were like, you kind of felt like he was getting shoved down everybody's throats, and it was cool to, chant that John Cena sucks because it just so happened to go along with the beat of his song.
Yeah.
And, it was cool to hate him, but when you stop back and think, go ahead.
There's such a great angle, though, and I bring up Angle for a reason when Kurt Angle, for instance, where there's such a great thing when you look back in wrestling and somebody has their moments where people love them, and then they don't really change their character a ton. They might pick up a little bit of a gimmick or something along those lines, but for the most part, they didn't really change that much. And then for them to still go from love to have their booed moment to, you suck type of chants and stuff like that, then to transfer that back into the love that he gets now. Yeah.
Dude, like Donald just said, that ECW crowd at One Night Stand in 2006, when he was the champion, they literally wanted to kill him. Like there were literally people holding signs, like go back and watch it. There were literally people saying, if Cena wins, we riot. And when he threw his shirt into the crowd, they threw his shirt back twice.
Dude. That was
he
insane.
threw it twice and they threw it back. Like, I mean, just saying, that guy was polarizing. If you say whatever you want, he's successful for 15 years, consistently making everyone money. And that's the thing. Think about how many guys John Cena helped. And let's not forget of the class that he came in. That OVW class: Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton. All in the same fucking recruiting class. Batista, and I forgot Batista. So Batista, Randy Orton, Hall of Famer. Brock Lesnar, Hall of Famer, UFC champion. Shelton Benjamin, widely considered one of the most underrated of all time. Just saying, like, John Cena is very underrated. Like I said, there's so many moments I can pick out. What are your thoughts on the legacy of John Cena? What do you think about what we saw from him last night?
Dude, so here's the thing. You touched on this a little earlier. So I wasn't a fan of John Cena. I don't think a lot of people I knew was, but at the given time, there was such a big transition in wrestling. Like, you got to think, we were coming through the Attitude Era. We were coming through all that. We're getting into new era of wrestling at the time. So John Cena was rather different than what you're used to cheering for on TV. You got to think, you're coming out of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, DX, NWO era, stuff like that in the late 90s. So, like, once you get into the early 2000s, John Cena is completely different. It's a whole different aspect of wrestling. You know what I mean? And the fact that he was kind of shoved down our throats, per se, throughout the years.
You're not wrong.
He made
Kevin Owens, AJ, Sami Zayn.
He made all these titles matter. You know what I mean? He made big matches matter through the early 2000s. So you got to give it to the guy, man. And honestly, for me, as more of an adult, when he came back at Summers, was a Money in the Bank or SummerSlam? He came back to fight Roman. It was the end of Money in the Bank last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When he came back, now going all these years forward as an adult wrestling fan, I'm like, oh shit, this match matters. This is a big fight feel heading into SummerSlam. So, like, you really kind of appreciate over time what John Cena has done, and not to mention the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That dude has taken WWE superstar to a whole different level when it comes to that, man, because in and out of the ring, the dude has worked and worked and worked, and you never hear anybody say a bad thing about John Cena in the locker room.
I mean,
the public,
look, dude,
nothing.
There's not really a whole lot you can say up against that guy. Shout out to John Cena. Shout out to 20 years of him. His fucking promo was amazing, and it was 100% real. Like I say, definitely hope we see Cena back in a ring sooner than later. All right, we have covered about all the wrestling that there is to cover, and we're still not done yet with shit to cover. But, J-Bone, I said I would leave this for you to cover because I didn't realize until just a little bit ago, Donald, your prayers have been answered. Since the Deathmatch Circus card happens to start at 8:00, I'll make my appearance at ICW Deathmatch Circus, and I will be at the Smokeout with Darren McCarty. I have tried to tell Cory this, but Cory doesn't want to join in on the festivities.
Like
Cory,
I have noted a million times, man, I have 2 children and an old lady that gets mad if I'm not at the house on the weekends, man. If I'm making my escape every
Technically,
weekend
Friday's not the weekend.
if I'm making my escape every weekend for a wrestling show, she is not.
I didn't say every weekend. I said when it makes sense.
Hey,
I didn't
look,
say
man,
you had to go to all the shows, but the Deathmatch Circus or you coming to GCW with us. I mean, hell, Uncle Chase is taking on Blake fucking Christian at GCW on Thursday. Hot damn it. And then Tommy Vendetta's finally getting his shot at GCW at Team Horror Slam versus the Second Gear Crew. I mean, I'm just saying.
Both of which.
See, and Donald said bring him. He's taking his kids. Hot damn it.
There you go.
Both of those instances do make me more interested for the GCW thing. But that being said,
even with Tommy being on the card, he said fuck GCW.
Schedule permitting with everything, man. It's such a hit and miss on it. Whether or not I'm feeling it on the day, I'm not promising nothing no more.
Corey don't love us no more, but it's all right.
No, I'm too busy trying to love myself anymore, man.
It's all good, man.
No hard feelings. I'm trying to make myself happy as my 30s kick in.
Man, you see that? We got this sumbitch up on the show. He said the show don't make him happy no more. Hot damn it!
Oh, all right.
Oh, now we're going to
that's why
putting them out like that, man.
I'm on time every week. Haven't missed the show except for when I'm sick.
I'm just busting balls.
Excuses. Let me hear the shit. No, are we? Let me get J Bone's point across because I gotta take a quick corner to shit on myself from what I had said from last week. So go on, J Bone.
Hey, look, man. The Deathmatch Circus is gonna be off the hook, like we just said. Kyle's gonna be there too. We're gonna be there having a good time, man. If you guys are there, find me or tag me on Twitter, something. Show me where you're at. We'll link up, man. I'm gonna have.
Hell yeah! Follow us on social media at KO3C Pod at Detroit Knockout. I'll be in there.
I'll have your knockouts and 3 count stickers on hand, man. If you guys want.
Hell yeah! Get you a sticker and stick them bitches all over the Little Caesars Arena. Damn it.
We'll have it.
But Deathmatch Circus, I have to make it a point to run into John Wayne Murdoch while we're down there. I've spoke to the Duke a few times about bringing him on the show. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him not only at GCW but seeing him at ICW. Danny Demento versus Randy West. I don't know if that's going to be there on the night that I'm able to be there, but I will be there Friday night after I get done slinging the fucking mail. Yeah. I might swing a barbed wire bat or two.
Oh boy.
But hot damn.
He's gonna go postal.
It's gonna be I could go postal after today. I'm dead ass. I could go postal after today, hot damn it. I'm serious. I'll turn into Cactus Jack in this bitch, and it wouldn't be a good time for any of us. All right. Well, then I am gonna get to see Randy and Danny. It's gonna be night 1. All right. Now we got some MMA to talk about. They let me get behind some. They let my ass get behind the mic. I was behind the mic. I was on pay-per-view on Spectation Sports. If you didn't get to see it yet, make sure you go check that shit out yet. If you really support the show, you'll make sure you go check that out. But yeah, I was on the call at Lights Out 8. Watching our guy, Austin Bashi, get that dub. Shout out to another one of my teammates, Mickey Marshak, getting that dub. Talking to Anthony Scoops Fleming, getting himself back in the win column and winning the trilogy with Chad Kuhn, getting that dub. Shout out to you. And sorry I had to tell the Rihanna story on commentary. But I'm sorry. It was too big of a softball. I had to swing at it. It was like beach ball. I spat her up. Anyways. Josh Parisian with a big – hey, you're not kidding. Yeah. Josh Parisian had a big dub, although I've seen Josh Parisian fight a bunch in the local. So, baby. Like I say, it's shout out to Josh Parisian. The UFC fights were good to see as well. Lights Out 8 was the last card here at the Deltaplex. Before they closed the place down, and damn it, we went out with a bang. I got to do commentary. I only forgot to not hit my mutant button once. I told some funny stories. I made a Carlos Newton reference that most of you young bucks don't know about. And yeah, I had a damn good time. What were your guys' thoughts on Lights Out? Shout out to Austin Bashi.
Explain
Getting
the
another
mute button situation. How? Because for one, I've never done commentary on broadcast ever. So explain the mute button. How'd that work and what happened?
So there's a button, and when I hit mute, you can't hear me no more. Well, I forgot to hit mute, and so the guy in my ears tell me, yeah, and they can. I'm like talking to the guy in my ear, and he was like, yeah, they can hear that. I was like, well, they heard it, and I went right with it. I was like, well, they heard it. I didn't swear. At least I didn't swear. I didn't swear. All right. Oh boy, I didn't swear. Oh, see now, Kathy, I hope you went back and checked it out at this point, because damn it, if Matt Friendo, if you're hearing this, I appreciate the opportunity. Hopefully, when they come back down to Detroit, I might get to yak my mouth behind the mic again. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool.
What was it like, and what was the atmosphere like, and something like that, man? I mean, like I said, I've never done commentary, especially live commentary. So
I'll tell you, obviously watching fights, it's hard not to react when you see somebody get dropped. But when you're watching it cage side, and they're literally 2 feet from you, and dude just gets sat flat on his ass, kind of hard not to react, dude. I mean, and really, shout out to Matt Friendo on that too. Like, that card from top to bottom was really from the amateurs to the pros was really set up very well. They were all evenly matched. If you guys are MMA fans, or if you're in the Michigan area, or even in Sophia's case in Canada, I mean, we always see Canadians over here fighting as well too. I mean, definitely check that out. It was a great card. Wait until you experience the circus atmosphere. I won't be on acid, but I definitely want to see what. I'm good on acid.
Donald, if you're drinking beer at the circus, man, let me know. I'll bring you one. Let me know what kind of beer you like. I got you, man.
Hit me up. I was gonna say, yeah, dude. I'm thinking a little white, dude. Somebody was banging OxyContin the other day, and is it sad that once it got going, I still remember the whole chorus?
Right, I know. I heard it.
I literally can hear it all playing through my head.
It's bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. I'm not even gonna sing it out, because even as I hear it playing in my head, I'm like, dude, yeah.
So bad. But shout out Friendo, shout out Bashi shout out Friendo for putting on a killer card, and Step, like he had kind of alluded to on the show.
He said he's looking to stir all the pots. Stir that bitch.
For anybody who had missed it when we had him on, go back and watch it. But he had talked about, hey, I was kind of thinking I was out of this game. I'd even talked to my wife about it and all of that. But, people got to run their mouth. So here I am making my step, my promotion be known. And it seems like he did a good job getting the ball back rolling with Lights Out 8. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good event to go out on. It sucks we couldn't see the boss back in action, but I think he's got some bigger waters to cross. I'll let him be the one to do that. I mean, see what I did there? Kenny Cross got some waters to cross. It's funny how that works. But with that being said, yeah, dude, it was a great card. We saw a lot of good fights. Good stoppages too. I mean, maybe some stoppages people were complaining about maybe in the amateur fights. But again, I don't got a problem with an amateur fight kind of getting stopped a little bit earlier. Yeah, man, it was good to see my buddy. It's not even about the stakes. It's just you don't want to see somebody take a bunch of damage in a fight that I mean, you don't know if that person is going to keep going. Now, when we're talking about pro fights, things like that,
that's what I mean. There's a lot less at stake. It doesn't hold with you to till the end, where your permanent record, your pro record, is forever a showcase. I mean, it is if you stay an amateur, your amateur record stays with you, but it only sticks with you as long as you stick in the amateurs. Once you decide to make that move, that's why I feel like there's less at stake, and you can if I was a judge or a ref, either or, I feel like there's just less at stake in a amateur bout.
I mean, there definitely is less at stake. It's just like I say, I think it's more so to do with. I don't know. Either way, it was very well matched. A lot of good fights. Everybody fought tough. It's kind of funny though, because so the blue corner was sitting directly to my left. So it was definitely interesting when you're calling the fights and say somebody from the blue corner starts losing and you're calling it and they're looking over
Who's this motherfucker over here?
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Really
what does he know?
He really thinks my boy's losing.
He's gonna take the water bottle and toss it at the monitor, cut out your monitor or something, fry your headphones.
Hey, man, sometimes it be like that. Just asked about JR in the candy jar. But all in all, lights out was a great time. I definitely hope that you might see me back behind a mic when they come back down here to Detroit. Again, shout out to Matt Friendo. Shout out to everybody that fought. Shout out to Anthony Fleming getting a dub and getting himself back in the win column here and winning his trilogy with Chad Kuhn. Mickey Marshak getting a quick finish in the co-main. And then, like I say, Austin Bashi moves on now to 7-0. I hear a contender series fight could be in the near future for Austin Bashi. I think he could definitely do better than the contender series. I think whoever he steps into the cage with in the contender series better be ready because Austin Bashi's coming to fuck some fools up. This kid's only 20 years old, dude.
Yeah, making moves. Young man making moves, man.
I mean, dude, he's not beating bums. His opponent, Chris San Jose, was 8-0 or 8-1, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, coming out of in good wins. The guy's 8-1. Right. You're 8-1 as a pro. That's not a bad win. Austin picked up the Shamrock FC title in his last fight. It was cool. Joe Rogan, I'm coming for your job. But yeah, dude, it was a good time. Hopefully I can be back behind the mic soon. If you guys check out the fights, whether you did or caught them in post, I want to know what you thought of me on commentary. Let us know in the comments. All right. UFC 275 is also going to be on the same night, Saturday, as Money in the Bank. I still don't know what the fuck WWE was thinking, how that was oversighted. I don't. I don't know how the fuck that happened. I just don't. And that it's on the same night too in the same city.
That's just Vince trying to show what he can do, man. There's teams out there that know the schedule. There's teams out there that know the schedule and what's going on. Nobody's in the dark in the fact that it's International Fight Week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially
Vince went out there to show his nuts, like you said, and he failed. As it is what it
showing
is.
them grapefruit,
especially to do it in the same town, right? There's one thing to run it in a completely different city, even if it is the same segment of the country. You could run it. You could run it in California. You could run it in Phoenix. You could run it. There's so many. You could run it the UFC's trying to do with moving their stuff up to Salt Lake City.
So you're saying he was so busy with the paralegal that fucking Nick Khan did? Come on, Donald.
He misplaced his schedule.
He told Nick to do it. Nick fucked it up. Come on, Nick.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's a big oversight for sure, and the fact that they're kind of dealing with the consequences of it's a little bit funny in my eyes. But before we do jump head deep, I do want to make the quick point of the fact that Mini Corner here. Man, did I talk some shit last week about how freaking Mousasi was number 2 middleweight in the world.
I think we all talk shit about that.
Yeah, we all talk that shit. And how I talked about how Arman Sarukian was just going to basically run through. I didn't put the respect on the former KSW champion, 2-division champion, Gamrot. Didn't give him his respect whatsoever. I mean, for me trying to be somebody that puts myself in front of a mic and claims to know this shit, I just was. I didn't give my PFL picks, but I mean, every single one of those was off too. I mean, good thing I'm not a betting man last week.
See, Corey's got to go out to the circus and get his mind right.
That's what my mini corner basically sums up this week is, boy, was I off. And shout out, before I end this thing, shout out Johnny Eblin for just proving everybody fucking wrong, man. And it was such a dominant performance in the way that he was able to do it. It was like, it was truly surprising, right? Like in the first round, Kyle, I know you can kind of attest to this because we were watching it together. In the first round, when he was able to hurt Musashi, I was like, okay, all right, Musashi sometimes starts a little slow. Let's see what he brings out in the second round. And then it just seemed like, if anything, he wasn't able to hurt him to the same degree. But
I'm not mad at that pick, Donald.
The level of dominance just kept building and building throughout this 5-round fight. I mean, shout out freaking Eblin. He really outshined what I was expecting. He outkicked his coverage big time in what I was expecting of him, man. So I'm going to be watching his career going forward, that's for sure.
I mean, to get a win like that, I mean, I sure as hell was not expecting that over Musashi. Now, the question is, with the way that fight went, I mean, damn, do they make Musashi, of all people, have to fight another one before he can fight him again?
Right.
I mean, maybe, but the thing is Bellator being Bellator, they're slightly light on contenders. Yeah, they're light on contenders, so I feel like it would make the most sense. Maybe Musashi can go in there with the claims of, you know, I didn't know who he was, I didn't take him as seriously, but now I've seen him for 5 rounds and I know what to bring to beat him. And,
he just seemed off. I just feel like he had an off night that night. Not even taking anything away from Eblin at all, but he just seemed off.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was the skills of Eblin putting him on a back foot position where he just wasn't able to get the ball rolling, or if it was, to your point, where he just kind of had an off night, but which we have seen Musashi have in the past. That's honestly most of the losses.
So you're saying he's human?
Yeah, well, not only, you know, is he human, but that's most of the losses in his professional career. Somebody who was looking at his 50th win in his career had he have won that night. Now 8 of his losses are just really nights, for the most part, that he just didn't look like he showed up, you know? So I would be interested in a rematch just for the simple fact, if Eblin's able to do it twice, you can't deny him. Yeah.
I mean, if anyone should get an immediate rematch in Bellator, it would be Musashi. Like I said, definitely wouldn't be mad at seeing that one. Also, shout out to past guest of the show, Britton Hart, getting the dub.
Yeah,
at BKFC 26.
It was in there, but I let it slide. That was one
so much going on.
Yeah,
so much.
There's a lot of shit going on this weekend. Like we've talked about, we've already talked about all the wrestling stuff. Like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can go out and check it out if you missed it. But yeah, between MMA, bare knuckle, boxing, all that stuff, and we've got Triple G versus Canelo coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude,
that summer's heating up. Can you tell?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
summer combat.
The weather was pretty dope in Chicago. Although, can I just say that, like, the view from like the top of the Sears Tower, like if you look straight down, you could easily throw the fuck up. Like, I'm just saying, you could easily throw the fuck up.
You stepped out on a little glass ledge thing, right?
Yeah, is that the glass floor building? Yeah.
Barf.
150 fucking feet, floors up.
Barf.
And literally can look straight down, like as if you were gonna fall to your fucking death. Oh my god. And Ken's over here trying to live his best life, being trained kilo and shit, taking his picture.
It took me a long time. As somebody who has to work at heights very often due to my job, it took me a very long time to get over the fact of working higher than 20 feet, 30 feet in the air. And boy, you get up there like that level and you start looking down, intentionally looking down like that, that's a different feeling. Like, especially if you're somebody who actually feels that fear of heights, man, your legs will lock up on you and stuff. It's different.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Donald. Just bring Donald in. Just bring Donald in. He's fucking he kills me, dude.
Yeah,
Donald, we
should do a
appreciate you.
A Donald episode of all the wild stories of the indie wrestling. And
Yeah,
wrestling
dude. I'm sure you'd
stories in
have
general.
some.
Indie wrestling, the shit that he sees at Pizza Hut, the
Yeah.
crazy shit ends up on pizza. Hot damn it! Yeah, we had to do that at some point.
Can't wait to meet him this week.
Before we end
You've
up
never
with
met
this
him yet?
Nope.
Wow.
That's
All
really-
right.
But
To meet a
All
couple
right.
of
Well,
guys.
J-Bone's gonna have to be giving people hugs like Tony Khan was giving the AEW roster at the press conference.
I don't
hot damn.
give hugs. I don't give hugs. I give beers. So
Well, Donald gave me a beer last time, so I'm sure he would be okay with that. But he said
Beer
he
and
wanted
high
a hard.
five.
He
I
said
can-
he wanted a hard apple cider.
ooh, I enjoy
Or
that
Bud Light.
pick. I agree with that pick.
He said,
Depending on
or
what
Bud
brand-
Light.
Depending on what brand they're.
You said
they're-
you were going to get him what he wanted to drink. That man said he wanted hard
I
cider.
think he said hard cider or Bud Light. I thought he said.
Is it the Arrowheads or whatever? I think that's the name of it. I haven't drank.
Oh,
it.
he did. I'm a cider guy or
Angry
Bud Light.
Orchard. Okay.
Well, maybe I'll have.
All
some
right.
Bud Light.
Well, Bud Light, you know,
Orchard's a little too sweet for my my taste.
Look,
enjoy
man,
it,
we're
but it's a little
We're
sweet.
gonna be out camping and whatever. We're gonna be at the circus. I'm bringing Bud Light. I'm bringing Orchard. I'm bringing
I'm bringing
tequila.
light.
I'm bringing it all, man. You're gonna have a good time.
So Donald's saying he would accept a J-Bone hug. Just saying.
I'm with it.
But that
I'm with
being said, you know, if he does, even though J-Bone's still a puss and didn't. Hey, wait a minute.
I already know he's gonna go with this.
Wait a minute. I didn't think of this, and damn it, I'm
Look,
glad I
already
did.
know where he's going.
You some bitches still owe Joe Bateman a fucking shoey, and you're going to the show and he's wrestling, and Cory's a bitch because he won't do it, and I put him out there on the show. You're a bitch because you're a bitch. No. You agreed to the bet at the same time I did. You agreed to the bet the same time I did. There's video proof. You just said you.
When I told you earlier about the card and what time
Donald confirmed it. They all said that bullshit. They all said they would do a shoey. Cory's being a punk. J-Bone's going to be at the show, so you've got no excuse.
Look,
you got no excuse. Yeah, you did. You said you was in too.
I told you the card. I was like, damn, I know he's going to bring up the shoey deal. And you didn't.
Nope. And it's going to be videotaped too, hot damn it.
What if I'm wearing Nike flip-flops? How am I supposed to do a shoey?
You got to bring. I brought my own extra pair of shoes. See, I was prepared, unlike our buddies from Pro Wrestling Edge, which if you haven't checked them out, make sure you go check them out wherever you get a podcast, all that good shit. But hey, I was smart. I brought an extra pair of shoes. You agreed to the bet. Whatever you got to do to make that bet happen, that's what's got to happen. I mean, Cory was in on said bet too, but he doesn't want to fill his part of it. But you are going to be at the show. Donald confirmed it. You calling us both a liar? You calling us both a liar?
I'm a man of my word.
And I remember this exact statement that the only
I remember you saying that after. I remember you saying if he won.
The only way I said I would ever take one is if I got one of the Tai Tuivasa foam shoey things that's basically a fake shoe because I'm not drinking out of no damn shoe, was my exact statement on the show. If I'm not mistaken,
Donald will have to fact check that. I feel like Cory definitely agreed to it the same way J-Bone did, but I know for a fact J-Bone did. So fuck you. And with what Donald said, you know, it gets crunchy and bloody, so you might not want to wear slides.
I'm just trying to find my way out. You know what?
Nice try. No. There's no. Hey, I'm going to clip this part of the show. I will send it to Joel Bateman. Joel Bateman, you are more than welcome to come back on the show.
It is what it is. I'll tell you what,
I will chug a beer with you, but it won't be out of my shoe.
Since it's been so long, I'll see your shoey and I'll one up you. Why not a shot of tequila out of the shoe?
That bullshit. No, that's cheating. That's cheating.
That's
cheating.
That is not more reasonable. I drank a beer out of my shoe.
Listen,
that is not more reasonable.
I'm saying let's take a shot of tequila out of the shoe and chase it with a shoey.
Oh, well, I'm not doing another shoey. I could chase it with a beer. I already did. Donald says he'll do a shoey. Cory, you're an even bigger bitch.
All right, we're doing shoey.
You're an even bigger bitch. Even Donald says he's going to do one. So now I've done one. J-Bone says he's going to do one. And now Donald says he's going to do a shoey.
You know what? I disapprove of every single one of you guys doing it.
It just shows Cory won't. That just shows Cory won't. Cory welches on a bet. It's all right. It's all right.
He's at the circus.
Cory welches on a bet. It's all right. But you heard it here first at the Deathmatch Circus. Danny Demento, you're welcome. John Wayne Murdoch, we invited you on the show. Hell, you're welcome too. J-Bone's got to do a shoey. Donald's doing a shoey. I won't be doing another shoey because I already did mine. How about this? I'll repost my shoey tomorrow and clip it with this here clip just for any of you that forgot.
Is there like a secret behind the shoey? Do I gotta like hold my nose or something? How'd you get through it? Tell me how to get through it. Coach me here.
Clean shoes. And I can say that as a reference because I watched Kyle's video back many a times, and I can say that the key factor in this particular
they were my shoes though, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, but they weren't looking that new, you know what I'm saying? If I was
you're not wrong, Donald.
Of
just
chugging shit out of shoes.
I ain't got no issues chugging anything. I'm good on that aspect, but I've never done it out of a shoe.
That's what she said. Whoa.
It's gonna be my shoe, so I think I'll be fine with it. So I ain't really worried about it, man. You're talking to a drink champ over here, so we're gonna make it happen.
I can attest to that because, dude, you slammed that 32-ounce margarita like way too quick. How you didn't piss your shorts in Vegas, I don't know.
Get it, man. There's only one way, and that's get it.
We were at 3:00 in the morning Vegas time after we'd already been up. We went to Nerd Bar. We had been to and that was before Double or Nothing. We'd been to Nerd Bar. We had been to GCW. We went in the studios that day. I got my ass kicked at Extreme Couture, and this guy's over here chugging margaritas because he didn't want to join in on the fun.
It's Vegas, baby.
Wow. 3-time beer chugging champ at XICW. Congratulations to you, sir.
Ooh,
all right.
I'm the beer chugging champ out of all of my friend group.
No, he's not, because he won't join in on the bets that he made.
I'm not shoeing. You're not
even showing up to chug one. I'm not doing a shoe either.
Hey,
I'm not doing a shoe either this time, but I'm chugging a beer, and I said I'd take the tequila shot.
Listen, I got a guy that might be here on Saturday, my friend Tony. He's pretty fast at chugging these beers. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So maybe if he shows up Saturday, we'll have a little beer chugging contest or something.
All right. I didn't say a beer chugging contest. I just said that I'm not doing another shoey, but all I'm saying is that if I make it to the Deathmatch Circus on Friday, before the smoke out with Darren McCarty, you have to do a shoey.
I feel like regardless if you make it or not, there's no getting out of this for me. So I'm just
there's no getting out of it. I already did one. There's video proof. I've already fulfilled my end of the bet.
I'm gonna be a man of my word, and I'm gonna take the shoey. It is what it is. End of story.
All right. Before we go into the 3-hour mark, fire round of questions, guys. O'Malley or Pedro Munoz, who gets the win this weekend?
I'm going Sugar Show, damn it.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big step up fight, but I feel like with the size,
but it's going to be a tough ass fight. But I'm going Sean O'Malley on this one.
With the size advantage, I feel like as long as he doesn't get hit by somebody like
Donald agrees. He says we're staying with O'Malley.
Yeah, who possesses the power like Munoz does. I feel like as long as he's able to avoid that, we're talking an O'Malley win. What were you saying?
How tall is O'Malley? It was like 5'10", 5'9" ish.
Yeah, I think he was 5. I think it was 5'10", maybe 5'11".
Munoz is like what, like 5? Was he like 5'5", something like that? 5'6".
Yeah. He's definitely on the shorter side of the bantamweights, like to the point where it had been talked about, I think, in MMA circles before him potentially making the move to 125. So, but that being said, who gets the most wins in UFC history? Jim Miller, Cowboy Cerrone.
Cowboy, damn it!
I'm going Jim Miller on this one, dude. Sorry, Kyle.
It's not a bad pick because he's been more active. Damn it, I can't go against Cowboy.
I just don't have the faith in
Damn
Cowboy
it,
anymore,
Donald!
man.
I know. I feel like it's a rematch. We've seen Cowboy run through him in the past. But that being said, it was a past version of Cowboy, and Jim Miller's still looking like he's not necessarily on.
You might not be wrong, Donald, but damn it.
He's definitely looks like he's still the fresher fighter of the two. That being said, I'm fucking picking with my heart, and let's go Cowboy. Woo!
Oh shit! There we go.
I want to see him hold that record of most victories, and I feel like if he's able to
Hold
get
on a minute.
over Jim Miller, then Jim Miller would have to win basically 2 or 3 more to get the title back.
Donald!
So I feel like there we are. Yeah.
Donald, so I know you won't be able to come over and link up with us for the fight for Saturday because you'll be at night 2 of the Deathmatch Circus. But Cory's going to be with all 3 of us on Saturday, J-Bone. And we've all got phones.
What are we proposing here, Kyle?
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We said that we don't welch on bets over here. Cory's saying he won't be at Deathmatch Circus, so he thinks he weaseled his way out of that one. We're all going to be together on Saturday. I feel like there needs to be some kind of fucking substitute.
Well, I want to see he says he's the chug champ of all his friends.
Bitch.
Yeah, I'll go down.
I'm not saying I'm any good at chugging. I just can chug. I'm not a speed guy. Okay. Chugging's a marathon for me, not a speed contest.
You just got to get me some light beer, so I'm not feeling full as fuck.
Yeah, I'll get him some light beer. Shout out to Sam Beal.
No, I'm saying
Bush Light.
as somebody who enjoys my nice red stripes, a nice solid, thick, dense beer nowadays.
Cory's a bougie bitch with his beer.
There's no way. Yeah, I am. I am.
Red Stripe's pretty good though. Can't hate. Red Stripe's a shit.
I don't drink often, maybe 2, 3 times a month. So yeah, I'm a bougie bitch when it comes to my drinks, because why the fuck not? But that being said, yeah, you can't be chugging some fucking red stripes, bro. That's not chugging beer, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you.
Fire question number 3. Does Holloway finally pull this victory?
God damn it, he should. I'm really kind of scared though because he hasn't fought in a while. But
in his last fight,
and I'm not trying to disrespect Volkanvski, but dude, like, look, I'm not trying to be a hoe because he's done solidified himself as the champ. Kathy, you were watching with us this whole time and haven't made any fucking picks since we started talking about UFC. Dude, this sucks. Because I like Holloway, and I should say I like Volkanovski, but damn it, I feel like Holloway won the first 2 times.
Yeah, at least for sure the second. I went back and I actually, shout out Morning Combat, part of the whole Showtime umbrella and stuff that they got going on over there. But they actually did
Donald's going Holloway
of the first and the second fight of the Holloway Volkanovski soon to be trilogy. And they went back, watched it live with the time on air, basically like a fight companion style, so you could watch it along with them and kind of, see how their thoughts were aligning with yours. After watching back that first fight, man, those leg kicks were super fucking impactful, and they really did stop the momentum of Holloway. And it hurts me to say, as a Holloway fan, I did end up scoring it for Volkanovski after the rewatch. That being said, I did not feel that way about the second fight. After the rewatch,
the first one was the closer of the 2. There's no way in hell he won the second fight.
Yeah, after rewatching the second one, I was way more reaffirmed that Volkanovski came on very, very strong in the last minute and a half of the third round on. But that was not enough in my eyes to score that third round for him, and that being the pivotal round in that fight.
I agree with you. I do not like seltzers either, Donald.
Yeah. But I agree. I hope Holloway has something for him. But my biggest concern is going into this fight is Yair Rodriguez in his last fight kind of made him look a lot more human than a lot of the other contenders in the division have made him look. And I think that, to your point, Kyle, is why he's kind of had this big of a layoff going into this fight. Is that fight was not an easy one for him. If anything, that ended up being a fight of the year contender at the end. Mm-hmm. He won, but it wasn't.
Damn, he says he's going to piece him up and look like hamburger.
it wasn't as dominant as maybe we had thought Holloway's boxing and skill set would be over somebody like Yair Rodriguez.
He also had a long layoff, though.
Yeah. That being said, I
And
do
fought
think
a dog.
Holloway. I do think, he did. It was a great fight. I'm not taking anything away from Holloway just because it was a tough fight. I'm just saying the
Agree
things that were
100%,
presented,
Donald.
the things that were presented to me because of that fight. But that being said, going into this trilogy, I really want to see Max win because I'm just a diehard Max fan. I think he's already earned that status of a cult favorite, fighter with like the Diaz's of the worlds and stuff like that, where he doesn't need a belt to still be a fan favorite. He's earned that position, but I think this is the time, unless somebody just magically steps up and dethrones
If he doesn't win this
Volkanovski.
time, he's not getting that belt back.
Unless somebody dethrones Volkanovski fairly shortly, I think we don't see Holloway at 45 for much longer. So I hope he's able.
If he
to
doesn't
pull
win this
off.
one, he's going up to 55.
Yeah, I hope he pulls this one off, but we shall see. That's my pick.
I'm going Holloway as well, but if he doesn't win this one, dude, if he doesn't win this one, he's definitely going to 55. All right, Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. I'm going Sean Strickland.
Oh yeah, the more trusted vet, I guess you could say, against the young buck, huh?
I'm going Sean Strickland on this one.
I just
feel like I feel like he's going to be weird. I just feel like he needs to be more active in this fight than he was his last fight.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I really don't. I feel like he definitely has the skills, especially he's the much. I talk about it all the time when we're breaking down fights. He has the more.
Donald hears it.
Able to finish the fight. He has. I appreciate Strickland for that as well. I'm gonna say that I do appreciate that. But that being said, I feel like Strickland poses the more well-rounded game. But the thing is Strickland is he doesn't like to rely on his wrestling and his ground game too much. He more prefers.
He did in his last fight
against Hermanson. When he fought Hermanson, that was mostly a stand-up bout. But either way, he prefers to keep it normally standing. From what I've seen in his fights. Oh, my headphones are about to die, so my audio might suck here shortly. But that being said, I think he presents more challenges to beat for somebody like Pereira in this fight. But I just feel like, man, that if he tries to stand with a kickboxing tacticianer of that level, it's going to be a tough night for him.
I agree. I think the wrestling is the key for him. All right, main event: Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier. Wait a minute. Did you make a pick, J-Bone Strickland or
no, I'm taking Strickland. I'm taking Strickland though. Yeah, I'm with you guys on that. So
Israel Adesanya and Jared Cannonier. Now, Jared Cannonier is telling people that if Israel Adesanya tries to style around in there, he's going to break the style. He's going to bend the style bender. So, I don't know. I don't think he's got it in him. But what are your guys' thoughts? Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier.
I think Cannonier is somebody.
She won the fight. What do you mean?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Wow, he said Jared Cannonier KO.
Really?
Damn, that's a hell of a pick. You better put that on DraftKings, Donald.
Put some money on that, Donald.
That's some bread.
If you ain't just on here talking that shit, if that's really how you feel, then yeah, put some money behind that, because that's gonna make you some money if it does come out. That being said, I was just about to make that fucking point. I feel like Cannonier is somebody who's not gonna play.
He can do it.
He's not going to play that game of like being scared or something like that unless an injury or something arises, like what happened in that Whitaker fight. I feel like we didn't get to see the fullest version of the modern Jared Cannonier because the injury arose in the first round. That being said, I feel like Jared Cannonier has definitely earned his spot in this title bout. He's beaten basically everybody except for Robert Whitaker and the upper echelon of the division, and he's done it in such a way that's just like, when he wins, there's no questions left behind. He doesn't really go out there and play games. He either gets people out of there or puts on very dominant performances where they could have been out multiple times. I feel like he's not going to play that game where he's going to stand at distance and try to, allow Israel to play his game. He's going to be in his face and throwing bombs. We'll see if Israel's able to make a miss and land counters, which is the route I'm personally leaning. But I definitely think he's going to be pressuring him the whole fight. But I do think Israel is able to deal with the pressure. Yet again, when you're dealing with somebody who has made their whole living in the striking arts before transitioning into MMA, it's going to be a tough night if your majority of your game plan is to go in there and try to outstrike them, whether it be because of your power advantage or not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, J-Bone, who you pick?
Cannonier's a big dude, man, and he cut a lot of weight to be there. So I mean, if he can tie him up, man, I mean, who knows? It only takes one punch.
But I don't think he's trying to tie him up, though. I don't think.
I mean, we don't think that, but you seen how Jan did it. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. He's strong.
I mean, so hey, dude. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody wants to talk about
against the cage and keeps the pressure on him. If you can't get successfully get away from a flurry, all it's going to take is one punch and lights out, dude. And Cannonier has the power to do it. So we'll see. I mean, you can't be totally surprised. This is MMA. So
look, bro, Jared Cannonier is a dog. So you're saying Adesanya too? How does he win?
I'm going to say Adesanya, but I'm going to say by decision.
Wow, you think Cannonier will make it all 5 rounds? Okay.
So.
I'm going Izzy as well. I think Cannonier is going to be really dangerous in the first 3 rounds. Like, I think in the first 3 rounds, he's going to be coming out to knock Izzy's fucking head off. But everybody wants to talk about the big power difference in this matchup. But here's the thing. I don't know that the power difference is going to be the big difference because I don't see it getting into too much of a wrestling game. The thing with Izzy that's going to make this a problem for Cannonier is everybody keeps pointing to the power. But the one thing that Izzy always points to is the precision. And I feel like Cannonier is going to be coming in swinging big-ass shots. And if Izzy can weather that early storm, which I think he'll be able to, I believe he will weather the early storm, and once Cannonier gets a little tired and gets that blood in his arms, I think Izzy's going to catch him. He'll catch him. I think he might stop him in the 4th round.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I personally see it being a little bit early because I think that Cannonier's not that he's going to be sloppy in these exchanges, but I think
that was at 205 though, Donald. I mean, Cannonier's big for 85, but Izzy is not a 205er. So
yeah, and Cannonier also, one of his losses is to Jan. So if you're talking about,
and Jan took them both out.
Yeah. So
he could fight at 205. He's definitely bigger than Izzy, but I mean, the only time we've seen Izzy fight at 205 was against, Jan, and Jan beat him up. And then, Cannonier was a heavyweight. I mean, like I said, there's no arguing that he's going to have the power in this one. I just think the precision of Izzy makes a difference. Hey, I'm not mad at you. Like I said, put some money on that shit on DraftKings.
Hey, I'm looking at it right now. Cannonier to win by TKO or KO is plus 550.
I'm telling you, Donald, put some bread on it. If you win, throw me a cut. But with that being said, I don't know. I think Izzy wins, and I mean, this card's going to be fun, dude. The prelims are going to be fun. You got Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberina. That's going to be a fucking banger. That's going to be a banger. We've already said the Cerrone and Jim Miller fight. Hopefully we can see him and Joe Lozon fight at some point. Dana is being a little bit of a hater at this point. But, dude, I am about talk the fuck out at this point. I have talked about wrestling and fighting and traveling and tickets getting fucked up and deathmatch circuses and smokeouts and chugging and chewies. And, feel free to hit Cory up at Fight Fan from the 313 and bust his balls about not wanting to be part of a bet. But with that being said, we've talked a lot. I usually say we're going to be back on Thursday, but we're not going to be back on Thursday because we're going to be at GCW DOA. Like I said, if you're in the building in Detroit, make sure you say what's up to your boys. Like I said, get you a sticker. See, put them up there in the thing. Get you a sticker and stick it somewhere. Until the
any of these shows, man, I got you.
Hit me up. I got you, man. And I promise it won't be Xanax bars and Loris.
Bret Hart won that fight, by the way. I just remembered that real quick. Donald, Bret Hart won that fight. It might not have been the most entertaining, but she won that fight. Just want to throw it out there before we call it wraps.
Donald threw out his last firing shot for GCW. And if you guys are new here and you guys missed your chance, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, comment button, all them buttons. Hit them, share them, subscribe, all them things. Hit them comments. And if you haven't done so, please, like I said, hit your subscribe. And shout out again to the homies at G3 Payroll and Tax. And get you a sticker. Stick it. Peace.